Salaya. Salaya who? They just lower. Shabbat shalom.
Still in the fight of my life, Kabuya will get that. Meditate on this perfect vision. Yahweh my law bad opposition, he made the vision. Kata he better that so I can come home clean and have life after death. Still in the fight of my life, Kabuya will get that. Meditate on this perfect vision. Yahweh my law bad opposition, he made the vision. Kata he better that so I can come home clean and have life after death. My wealth is esteemed, a lot emperor king. Despite the treacherous things I did, he grant me change of mind and live in him and understand I gotta move like he moved. Faithful long as I'm faithful, strong tower and he's supreme rule. Compassionate he is, errors that I make he reprove. Each day in him I'm improved, abundant increase. Love on him I'm at peace, Shabbat shalom I'm at ease. Appetite to be lacking the lamb, I want me a piece. Bloodthirsty like was hot, but can't be guilty of the sacrifice. Appreciate the foresight to get my soul right. Laid awake in the night, contemplating my plight. Seems surrender extension of life, so I'm utilized. To a shot, I want my husband's mind. My value to him inclined. What a time, the union left on his bride. Inhibitions aside, with my eye on the prize. My life not my choice to grind. Pull his will be my guide. Still in the fight of my life, Kabuya will get that. Meditate on this perfect vision. Yahweh my law bad opposition, he made the vision. Kata he better that so I can come home clean and have life after death. Still in the fight of my life, Kabuya will get that. Meditate on this perfect vision. Yahweh my law bad opposition, he made the vision. Kata he better that so I can come home clean and have life after death. Admonish me and nurture me, it's with a hobby purchase me. He bring me to maturity, clean me up, give me purpose. Understanding what my worth is, I'm patient while he working. Obedient I flourish, blooming he give me courage. No shame in seeing as I do. Desire greetings with the groom, prepare myself and stay in tune. Expecting of his sweet shalom, clear conscious so I'm calm and cool. He take me way like how I do Barak because he tried me true. Amani found me chosen few. You Ukanan, I don't deserve his kind no more than you. Fumbled up a few times, displaced because of lack of root. Gave my actions second view, just take my time and follow you. It's in your way, my mind renewed. Perspective, such a perfect view. I miss the sunrise, but y'all permit I see the sunset. No regrets, so convictions as I reflect the reward that I seek. You can't get it if you weak. Pull all the strength, my increase. No doubt he been good to me. Still in the fight of my life, Kabuya will get that. Meditate on this perfect vision. Yahweh my law bad opposition, he made the vision. Kata he better that so I can come home clean and have life after death. Still in the fight of my life, Kabuya will get that. Meditate on this perfect vision. Yahweh my law bad opposition, he made the vision. Kata he better that so I can come home clean and have life after death.
Salaya alahi. Shabbat shalom. Woo! Yes, sir. All right, Lady B. Let's get it now.
Come on, hey.
The eternal light set aside for me. Allah has set me free. So I'm gonna give all I can give. With his armory, this promise lives in me. This hope, it comforts me. So I'm gonna give all I can.
Down the miracle, had a plan in motion for me. I'm not that lyrical, but I paint a picture to see. Hypocrite in my living, so my reward is just. Even if I'm on the ground, transforming the dust. Head and shoulders held high like a sequoia. Until he shot me down, now here comes my paranoia. Waist deep in the now, crocodiles on the attack. Whirlpool got me, now I'm in trap. Two opposing sides collide. This might be something I can't survive, but I'm still alive. Got chance to walk in truth. Drug me out that deep water, talk a lot to you. LB says how I do, can't forget you in my youth. So I'm pushing harder than I did with my being. Injuries will come, but that's like when I ain't told sin. And hope to finally see it's my name and reign with the Malaka Malakim. Almighty
The
Elohim.
eternal light set aside for me. Allah has set give all I can give. Because I believe this promise lives in me. This hope it comforts me. So I'm gonna give all I can and serve all I need.
Okay, let's say I have a bad day and trouble's hurting me. Seem like everything going wrong and folk deserting me. Gotta stay strong because Yahuwah has a plan for me. All for my good perfectly. Just because I love to see. Dancing out my clothes, new wardrobe set and shamayim. All white for Kadash, no claws can't compete this gleam. And I don't mind crying, if not, no tears to wipe away. Nothing no more, so no need for his comfort sent my way. Yet it still can't be moping with the weight of the world on my shoulders. I own the prize, eternal life, boy, step past the boulder. All rise for the Malak who loved us so much that he came and killed over to get the weight off my shoulder. Showing death, they can't hold him, so by him, I know it's hope for me. Ahab, look at all he's done, gotta give him everything. Without him, nothing in his place created by him anyway. Eternal love, no need to pray, so glad that I can stand and say,
I hear you, all right.
Show me, gotta praise you with everything.
life storms qualify me for a crown set on high. Time to consider my ways, believing it'll be alright. Can't slight my Allah, he repaying Rasha for his too, cause he overcame my everything. I know that I can tell my
Life set aside for me, my life has set me free. So I'm gonna give all I can give. Cause I believe this promise lives in me. This hope it comforts me. So I'm gonna give all I can and serve all I need. Life set aside for me, my life has set me free. So I'm gonna give all I can give. Cause I believe this promise lives in me. This hope it comforts me. So I'm gonna give all I can and serve all I need.
Yehukanan, 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 Yehukanan.
Come on, friend.
Oh man, there go that buzz. Yes, it's time for me to wake up. Not exalting my alarm. All I do to Yahuwah. Feeling like my body stuck. My pulse been going up. I got Kaiya Ukanan. And it felt close last year, no love. Serving that Miss Ryan. It's all up in my head, so I'm really moving slow. Each and all I hate tough. Now live it there, gotta get another door. The avoidance of Shio. Provider that in the spot. Preservation for my soul. Boy, rock Yahuwah for this mind. Cause I know with my word. No, I don't deserve. Y'all let me to his word. Y'all is so gracious. Y'all is so gracious. Y'all is so gracious. Y'all is so gracious. No way with my word. No, I don't deserve. Y'all let me to his word. Y'all is so gracious. Y'all is so gracious. Y'all is so gracious. Y'all is so gracious.
Yahuwah is gracious, so say it with me. Don't be scared to do your dance and lift up your tongue to the only one that gave his only son. By his kind, I'm allowed the mind to not straight, but it's only good for today. And I'm sane in the brain from the things that are saying. On the floor with the stench of gunpowder, had to wrap my mind around the one who gave birth at the second hour. Has been devoured all because of an argument that turned sour. And I can't hide the stains in my memory. This is something that's gonna have to be a part of me. So honestly, I should be locked up in Whitfield, but I'm here in Atlanta. And with the help of Yahuwah, I'm gonna continue to hold up the banner. Yeah!
Know it with my word. No, I don't deserve. Y'all let me to his word. Y'all is so gracious. Y'all is so gracious. Y'all is so gracious. Y'all is so gracious. I know it with my word. No, I don't deserve. Y'all let me to his word. Y'all is so gracious. Y'all is so gracious. Y'all is so gracious. Y'all is so gracious. devising exit strategies, optimum effort to escape.
But it's the only job where it's safe.
Get the up out my face, harbor digits not all play. So get deep behind me, say why I told us infiltrate, execute and break away. Even in the land of waste, dowry my title taste. In turmoil you bring me joy, from the side you might escape. For we not rising up to play, that's the reason for our state. The devil destroy these traits, that's why I'm thankful for your grace. I'm so thankful for your grace.
For your grace.
I'm so thankful for your grace. Hope I follow sun and rain. In that verdict to this pain, your Yahush's mission was affliction. Mine gon' be the same thing.
Same thing.
I'm so thankful for your grace.
So thankful for your grace.
I'm so thankful for your grace. Hope I follow sun and rain. In that verdict to this pain, your Yahush's mission was affliction. Mine gon' be the same thing. And I know it with my word. No, I don't deserve. Y'all let me to his word. Y'all been so gracious. Y'all been so gracious. Y'all been so gracious. Y'all been so gracious. No it with my word. No, I don't deserve. Y'all let me to his word. Y'all is so gracious. Y'all is so gracious. Y'all is so gracious. Y'all is so gracious.
Let's go. I can be world of strength. Show me what's next. I gotta give me a check. Stay to myself. I never settle for less. I'm tryna live. I'm tryna earn my respect. I do it one day at a time. One day, one day, one day. I do it one day at a time. I do it one day at a time. Oh yeah. One day at a time. One day at a time. One day at a time.
One you at a time, man, that's just how I'ma take. I wanna see the mind cool. Tell you who I've been patient when you serve, let it be real. It can't be no faking, I say victory shall be mine. And man, I can taste it. Look, I ain't concerned with the gossip, I need inspiration the way I can blossom. My quality deep, but your who is colossal. Disrespect because you're hyper colossal, like Malcolm in the middle, you peer in the midst. These leads scoring, but look at my sessions. Now on me and y'all, man, I had to the list. Cause I get tasting, but I choose to resist. I got your who on my side. Got in my steps, I want the Yahoo.
Say what?
To my last breath, a chance to live forever.
How long?
Man, that's true. I want more for myself, never settle for less. So I
can't be worried about stress. I gotta give me a check. Stay to myself. I never settle for less. I'm tryna live. I'm tryna earn my respect. I do it one day at a time. I do it one day at a time. I do it one day at a time.
Oh yeah.
One day at a time. One day at a time.
Sufficient is today, tomorrow. Breakfast is performance, all of it. Make sure me, I can't think that I'm entitled to it. My Yahoo's such a gift to me, and it ain't even my birthday. Temptation to bring me out of his sunshine upon my worst day. I'm thirsty for the diamond ring, like a did to the stream, but my head up. This rock been struck my lobby for the one who got my head up. Each day I battle Satan trying to play me, and he won't let up. Rock say, shoulders, take your time, it'll be alright. Just keep your head up, take it one day at a time. Live for today, tomorrow no care for. Cause your who with agenda may spoil your plan, so best be careful. Created for him, so it's not my will, it's all about him, bro. If you allow, I get some paper while I wait for this transfer. So
I can't be worried about stress.
Yes, sir.
Show me what's next. I gotta give me a check. Stay to myself. I never settle for less. I'm tryna live. I'm tryna earn my respect. I do it one day at a time. I do it one day at a time.
I can't hear y'all. How we do?
I do it one day at a time. Oh yeah, one day at a time. One day at a time. One day at a time.
Piece by piece, part by part, assembling up this album. Knocking the border, be live overcharged. Different price every day, a la carte. Can't allow myself a straight live on guard. All while I got a tool by the time scars. Focus on the present, you live, then you know. Got a lot of proof, making moves, then reborn. Hit it by the force, then it explode. Fret about tomorrow, too heavy, you're below. Think your mind froze, but it is closed. Either way you told, cause I'm out by the flow. Trapped in the cold, your room will go cold. Show it to me, all the hippies, yo, who do you believe? I would call it creed, all over the CJ, 1 with 3, yo, who was the conformity? All about me, perpetually, what to achieve, eternal God, all version of me, obsolete, so called the author, all in my pride, they wars and trials, they worth the prize, at times I sigh, they head to the sky, and still I'm thriving, one day at a time.
Everywhere I straight, I gotta give me that check. Stay to myself, I never settle for less. I'm tryna live, I'm tryna earn my respect. I do it one day at a time.
One more time, y'all, how we do?
I do it one day at a time.
One more time, y'all, how we do?
I do it one day at a time. Do it one day at a time.
One day at a time, one day at a time.
Tahala Yahuwah Elohim.
John Dummy make the beat and I'm gon' kill it.
Wonder why he chose me. When I look in the mirror, I'm like, what did he see? Could think of prettier names, yeah, other than me. I don't deserve it. Favor he showed up on me. Wonder why he chose me. When I look in the mirror, I'm like, what did he see? Could think of plenty names, yeah, other than me. I don't deserve it. Favor he showed up on me. Every day I wake up, I get my cake up. Make sure I throw an occasional praise up, cause I can't mess up my chance again. Oh no, I can't go back down that same road. Everything I used to trip over, I'm stepping over. My Aki AC was almost out of here, thought it was over. Make sure you ready, don't know how many times my pops done told us. And Iron Man's was a force, so we on his shoulders. Tomorrow never promise, how can I take it for granted? Wanna be in my album mention with crime mode to granted. Many a call, few of the chosen, done that I gotta call y'all. Lost for words, so I'm had to give him my hello, yeah. Wonder why he chose me. When I look in the mirror, I'm like, what did he see? Could think of prettier names, yeah, other than me. I don't deserve it. Favor he showed up on me. Wonder why he chose me. When I look in the mirror, I'm like, what did he see? Could think of pretty names, yeah, other than me. I don't deserve it. Favor he showed up on me.
Thankful every time my eyes open, I remember being out there, ready to perish, hoping to get this over. Thinking how them killers ain't kill me. I had led a lifestyle I didn't wanna still leave. Feel me? Then contemplated suicide when I thought I had the courage. My conscience say you done lied, and I reneged. Cut off some things that had me slipping, some I still did. I'm no longer the hypocrite, some say he still is. Yo, that's the nature of the beast, speaking evil of the things they know not. That's how I beat my Alaim and Shamaim. You know I'm seeking your peace, and yet and still the question come to mind of why you chose me. Yeah, what did you see?
Wonder why he chose me. When I look in the mirror, I'm like, what did he see? Could think of prettier names, yeah, other than me. I don't deserve it. Favor he showed up on me. Wonder why he chose me. When I look in the mirror, I'm like, what did he see? Could think of plenty names, yeah, other than me. I don't deserve it. Favor he showed up on me.
Wonder why he chose me. When I look in the mirror, I'm like, what did he see? Could think of plenty names, yeah, other than me. I don't deserve it. Maybe he showed up on me. Wonder why he chose me. When I look in the mirror, I'm like, what did he see? Could think of plenty names, yeah, other than me. I don't deserve it. Maybe he showed up on me.
Young Shy, you killed this track.
You got the latest thing, man. You got to walk this shit. Get this man, bro. I got the doctor. You a talk. I done scooped up some opportunities, but I found not the food. This is not for your me. You got the latest thing, man. You got to walk this shit. Get this man, bro. I got the doctor. You a talk. I done scooped up some opportunities, but I found not the food. This is not for your me. Head of the scoop came and moved at 33. Found my all and reproach and a who in the first degree. By Rashid, we was covered. It's up a tree that Allah, he say not to touch it. We went and ate the parade. There was the fruit that was gobbled up to moot. Now the recruit, I'm in head first out there and hop the soup. They turn a guy, he can't let it be running by me. Another joke and play with his soul, but whoa, that not me. Linda Cole and Big Lead and told you where I be. 3 times a week, my rock gon' run it by me. No running by us, the plus, the minus. I can multiply from Russia, it can divide us. But you got the latest thing, man. You You got to walk this up. Get this man, Ruach HaKodesh, or you a talk. I done fucked up some opportunities, but I found not the food. This is not for your need. You got to live this thing, man. You got to walk this up. Get this man, Ruach HaKodesh, or you a talk. I done fucked up some opportunities, but I found not the food. This is not for your need.
Come out of Nazareth. Trapping and jacking is hazardous. The voice of Yahushua call me forth like Lazarus. Through the valley of battling the challenges and calluses, I wonder why my mind stayed traveling. Curious, made my friends furious for asking them, adjuring them. They had no information, so I became insecure with them. Restless, continue questioning, translucent, no longer a nuisance. Yahuwah blood transfusion, depart from me, I never knew you. An avenue called Stewart, a distant memory of miseries, oh hallelujah. He made me cooler than the average, put me in the immaculate tapestry, and I was bid to the marriage from all walks of life and personalities. We all unite, standing back to back like a street fight under the street light. It's how we act, the facts we know we right. Though we small, we are broad, defend it with all our might.
You got to live this thing, man. You got to walk this shit. Get this man, Ruach HaKodesh, or you a talk. I done fucked up some opportunities, but I found not the fool. This is not for your need. You got to live this thing, man. You got to walk this shit. Get this man, Ruach HaKodesh, or you a talk. I done fucked up some opportunities, but I found not the fool. This is not for your need. No.
You know what? I'm about to say this shit crazy. I don't care that you broke your own.
What the book telling? Got my devices to rest. Built a team of overcomers, man. Show us some respect. Only y'all did money, then you know this. You see it otherwise, you ain't lying. Well, show me. What the book telling? Got my devices to rest. Built a troop of overcomers, man. Show us some respect. Only y'all did money, then you know this. You see it otherwise, you ain't lying. Well, show me. Let the book do all the talking. Preacher got me finger walking, turn the goals. What's the goal? Watch him walk with it, walk with it, walk with it. Heathens lost with it, false with it, dog. Yeah, nobody really tolerate the tilling. Ryan got his hands on the keys like they tell me. Illuminate my sight, Georgia power can't fight. Came to elevate my height, call me Cam Cartwright. Send a Russell Bolton to the other side of Yardy. Got me through the wilderness, these temple wolves that starving. Like I'm riding the pine at the same time I'm ballin'. Sitting atop the east, group said the L College. What the book telling? Got my devices to rest. Built a team of overcomers, man. Show us some respect. Only y'all did run it, and you know this. You see it otherwise, you ain't lying. Well, show me. What the book telling? Got my devices to rest. Built a troop of overcomers, man. Show us some respect. Only y'all did run it, and you know this. You see it otherwise, you ain't lying. Well, show me.
You know that Yahoo didn't run it. Under the chief general, you can play games with him if you want. That's your funeral. He'll cut off out your family, all like this in a urinal. There's a lot of things you won't see coming, but this here you'll know. You've been told he'll be coming back. Send where your manners at. Bow down to your hoodie and shook her like you scared to death. Oh, offspring of Satan bet. Taste moot, you wager that can't be redeemed. No place in bets. Beat her ass and break your neck.
What the book telling? Got my devices to rest. Built a team of overcomers, man. Show us some respect. Only y'all did run it, and you know this. You see it otherwise, you ain't lying. Well, show me. What the book telling? Got my devices to rest. Built a troop of overcomers, man. Show us some respect. Only y'all did run it, and you know this. You see it otherwise, you ain't lying. Well, show me. The bar trio, Black and Decker, got me armored up like Shredder. If I tread this weather, gonna lie me like a checker. Fasten my devil for sake, all they get it right. They still don't understand me, head scratching like some lights. Yahushua working sight, selling lies, short tie. He got straight to the point, how you think he end up dying? Charge me with the crown and clear my record as a felon. I'm at the way of y'all to figure what the book telling. What the book telling? Got my devices to rest. Built a team of overcomers, man. Show us some respect. Only y'all did run it, and you know this. You see it otherwise, you ain't lying. Well, show me. what the book telling. Got my devices to rest. Build a troop of overcomers, man. Show us some respect. Hold it out deep, what it and you know that. You see it otherwise, you ain't lying. Well, show me.
Everybody can't go where you go. They say they acting funny when you're trying to grow. Stay focused on my purpose, know it's high time. Cause lights don't talk, all they do is shine. Watch me levitate. Watch me levitate. Watch me levitate. Watch me levitate. Levitate. Watch me levitate. I'm going up, I'm going all the way up. I'm going up. Watch me levitate.
Looking up and out of space, no, it's not a bird plane. This is where your hootie hang aboard for the center. Think of love with us a miles away, sinking like you're walking planes. Had to cut you like a shite, now I'm surfing on planes. When you levitate, you can't stand it. Yeah, I got me high up on my head on the planet. Looked around, felt real lonely when I let it. Find a respect calm and I almost petty. Blend on pedal while I'm capping. Moon walking like LJ, I'm dancing. Lifestyle got a Christian mind running rapid. Looking kinda sick, we can tell you famished. Tell me how a clean lifestyle cause damage. Maybe cause you stuck like 85 traffic. Y'all need my recover like an Apache. This ain't none, we just call this practice. You would call me from the slug with a dud, now fly is retros. Can't help but to keep eyes on us, we got your neck, bro. But you can't resist it, but you can't levitate to see it. But you can't drop kick Jesus in the chin. Can you sacrifice living? Must be trying to be a preacher. Where you going? We can't reach you. Had to switch it up and make you who show on my feature because
everybody can't go where you go. They say they acting funny when you're trying to grow. Stay focused on my purpose, know it's high time. Cause lights don't talk, all they do is shine. Watch me levitate. Watch me levitate. Watch me levitate. Watch me levitate. I ain't got no more time to waste. Haters get up out my way. I'm steady moving with a pace. You know I gotta run this race. Ain't no more standing in place. I can't wait to see his face. Brock that God has given, did it with precision, yes. So I will always mention Yah. Turn me from a savage, used to be an average. Sins will stack until he opened my eyes. Turn me from the dark side, now I'm a ring living on the right side. Got a tight grip like a ride for a whip. Living this life, can't afford to slip. Like I'm going front, back, side to side. No, I can't take that dip. I can't get caught up on carnality, cause that would be a tragedy. Then look at what Yahuwah did. Levitation called his gravity. Counselor and governor, a buckler in my shield. If it's anything I'm missing, I pull out that you reveal. So I'm looking up to the one that we call great. And I'm waiting for that to rule with a sound. Now watch me levitate, now watch me. Everybody can't go where you go. They say they acting funny when you're trying to grow. Stay focused on my purpose, know it's high time. Cause lights don't talk, all they do is shine. Watch me levitate. Watch me levitate. Watch me levitate. Watch me levitate.
Pablo, you crazy for this one.
Show out, 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 show out. My who should have showed up and showed out. My who should have showed up and showed out. My who should have showed up and showed out. My who should have showed up and showed out. We ain't done yet. He ain't done yet. We ain't done yet. He ain't done yet. My who should have showed up and showed out. My who should have showed up and showed out. My who should have showed up and showed out. My who should have showed up and showed out. He ain't done yet. We ain't done yet. We ain't done yet. He ain't done yet. Yo, who should kick the blood?
just like bossa do. The bucket around like a prostitute. I'm tryna be in his number, so I do what I gotta do. They got us in quarantine. Got a nigga locked up in the house. Only come out who she done showed up. Only come out who she done showed out. The top of the deadliest virus. I gotta keep on this racing, you know I ain't tired. I'm sinking his treasure just like I'm a pirate. We ready, I'm Meteor's finest. Famine in the land. So tell me where you gon' run. This warfare ain't carnal, so now I can't use no gun. I'm tryna have me a seat at the table, serving my youth and while I'm still able. Turn my back on him and choice is fatal. Choose it right now cause I can't do it later. My ride I be teaching, gotta make sure that I'm keeping up. He said some gon' fall away, I'm sorry but I ain't giving up. I'm gon' do what it takes to be safe, that's on me. I ain't going nowhere, you know what I claim, YGTD. I turn the sermon into a smart. I drop the hits you can bump in your car. Motivation for a win when you're part. Ain't trippin', I'ma be back with the dollar. My who should've showed up and showed out. 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 We ain't done yet. He ain't done yet. We ain't done yet. He ain't done yet.
Better make up your mind real quick. You who shit coming back, he ain't taking no shit. Stop letting tell a maze and the man can't fit. Everything get pressure when you think that it's it. Better hold tight to the thing that it said. Say another word, you ain't gonna be breast. So you better hold tight to the thing that you learn. What you gonna say? You ain't never been warned? Send the man what you gon' do. Cause it's on you once you know the truth. And if you say you hear, you better show proof. Cause that sport loose and it's coming through. This watchman, he done warned you. If it kills you, that just will too. Better sigh y'all, that's cry out. Cause he cry loud and he spell now. He built a sport and it ain't the vein. When he come through, they gon' all know his name. Cause he died in red like he drippin' blood. So tell me, what's it is you rap? Because if you know me, yeah, I'm YG. That's your who, can't send a girl where I be. Yeah, your who shit came and there's no doubt. He showed up and he showed out.
My who should've showed up and showed out. My who should've showed up and showed out. My who should've showed up and showed out. My who should've showed up and showed out. What it is? Who should've showed up and showed out? 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 Showed up in, showed up in, showed out. Showed up in, showed up in, showed up in. He ain't done yet. He ain't done yet. He ain't done yet. What did he do? Who should have showed up and showed out? 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 He ain't done yet. He ain't done yet. He ain't done yet. He ain't done yet. Who should have showed up and showed up? Who should have showed up and who should have showed up and showed out? Who should have showed up and showed out? He ain't done yet. He ain't done yet. He ain't done yet. Yo, who should kick the plug? Just like bossa do. The pocket around like a prostitute. I'm trying to be in the numbers, so I do what I gotta do. They got us in quarantine. Had a nigga locked up in the house. Only come on who should done showed up. Only come on who should done showed up. Cause top in the deadliest virus. I'm trying to keep on this racing, you know I ain't tired. Sticking this treasure just like I'm a pirate. We ready, I'm Meteor's finest. Famine in the land. So tell me where you gon' run. This warfare ain't carnal, so now I can't use no gun. I'm trying to have me a seat at the table, serving my youth and while I'm still able. Turn my back on it, that choice is fatal. Choose it right now cause I can't do it later. My YB teaching the show that we keeping up. He said some gon' fall away, I'm sorry but I ain't giving up. I'm gon' do what it takes to be safe. That's on me, you can beat. I ain't going nowhere, you know what I claim. YGTD. I'm trying to turn it into a tomorrow. I'm trying to hit you up in your car. Motivation for when we apart. Ain't trippin', I'ma be back with the dollar. Who should have showed up and showed out? But who should have showed up and showed out? But who should have showed up and showed out? But who should have showed up and showed out? We ain't done yet. He ain't done yet. We ain't done yet. He ain't done yet. But who should have showed up and showed out? But who should have showed up and showed out? But who should have showed up and showed out? But who should have showed up and showed out? We ain't done yet. He ain't done yet. He ain't done yet. Make it your mind real quick. You coming back? He ain't taking no else. Now back till amazing, the man can't fit everything. Get murdered when you think that it's it. Better hold tight to the thing that it's said. Never know the word ain't gonna be real. You better hold tight to the thing that you learn. What you gonna say? You ain't never said. Look, tell the man what you gonna do. It's on you what you know true. If you say you you better show proof. Cause that boy loose and this coming through. Just watching and eat down boy juice. A big kill you that this will. To the side, y'all gotta cry, y'all can be crying louder. He better more than it ain't a thing. When he come through, you already know his name. Cause he died in red like he dipped in blood. So tell me, what was you worried for? Because if you know me, yeah, I'm YG. That's your Hoochie game till they go by IB. Yeah, your Hoochie game and there's no doubt. Cause he showed up and he showed out. Shut up and showed out. My Hoochie is shut up and showed out. My Hoochie is shut up and showed out. My Hoochie is shut up and showed out. We ain't done yet. He ain't done yet. We ain't done yet. He ain't done yet. My Hoochie is shut up and showed out. To be saved, that's on me. Hey, I'm gonna do what it takes to be saved. That's on me. Hey, I'm gonna do what it takes to be saved. That's on me. Hey, I'm gonna do what it takes to be saved. That's on me. Hey, show up, 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 show up. My Hoochie is sold up and sold out. 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 We ain't done yet. We ain't done yet. He ain't done yet. We ain't done yet. My Hoochie is sold up and sold out. 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 We ain't done yet. He ain't done yet. We ain't done yet. He ain't done yet. Soda. Hey. Soda. Soda. Soda.
I wasn't even done yet. Y'all had sat down. I had showed out. I said, y'all had already sat down. I'm done now. Show over with. And I'm put the monkey back in the cage. All right, we're going to get ready to let them sign the Kato Sarah. Woo. All right. All right, everybody all right? All right, too, to be here. Appreciate those of you that made the press. Isn't that right? Locally, from far, those watching in. I always want to give Kudash greetings to them. Always, to the dispersed and the scattered, and abroad. You know what I'm saying? All of the 12 Matah. So I want to send greetings to them. And everybody that laboring and striving to make it in. That's what we're doing. Isn't that right? It's a press. Like you say, Yahushua done showed up and he showed out. Isn't that right? We appreciate that too. We appreciate it. Went any other way, would we be here today? The book say he made a show of them openly. The book say he made a show of them openly. Isn't that right? I appreciate everything he did. Isn't that right? He nailed everything to the tooth. So I appreciate it. I appreciate the opportunity to stand and be a representative for him, for everything he stands for, and for the reincarnation of Yasharal and Yehuda coming together as one. That's our goal, our expectations to meet him in shalom above all things. I know it's a lot of things we all might desire, we all might, hope for, have expectation, but if that's not the center focus of what you're doing, I can assure you running in vain. Isn't that right? And make sure we get this thing right with him is the most important thing. It's urgent. As we see the Yom approaching, it's definitely we come down to a point in our lives to where we have to really sit back and examine what you're here for. Man, had the same thing, what you come around here for? Do you want to party? Do you want to dance, man? Y'all remember that song? What you come around here for? Y'all remember that? They want to know, you came around, they want to know, do you want to party? Do you want to dance? Do you want to get down? They want to know what you come for. If you came to the party, you ain't dancing, what you come for? Ain't that right? That's just being honest. Like sometimes you see guys just come just sit on the wall. Like what? It's a part. I remember we were teenagers. We'd be like, hey, guy, they on the wall. They say, y'all gotta come out the wall. Them on the wall. They like, it's a party. Try to pull them out the wall. They like, it's a party. They just come and lay on the wall. I had a partner. He said that he waited last day. They gave him go. He said, do that thing. I like, you waited all night to do that? Yeah, he do it on the way out the door. That's it, one step. He hit that, he on the way out the door when he do that. That's it, one damn move. If the party lasts longer than that, I mean, it's over with. He had to move that other leg, he in trouble. But sometimes that's where we at. The goal for us is truly to make sure we make it. I know I said a lot, it's because of, it's that pressing, it's that serious for us, and everybody needs to keep that in the forefront of everything they're doing. I want you to keep it like Kadeem, which they say the East. All it means is the forefront. That's it. It's in the front. I want you to keep your Yeshua Kadeem. Keep it in the forefront. All right. We're gonna pull it out of Southon, which is the north, which is considered to be the dog. We're coming out the dog. Ain't that right? We're moving to Kadeem. We're coming to the forefront. So we want to make sure when the bar come, we set ourselves and level ourselves in a place to where we can take correction. We can hear and understand what it is he wants us to do as far as how we are to halak. Y'all got it? And that's the most important, the most urgent thing for our young people. You guys have an opportunity to apply yourself and do something at an earlier time than a lot of us did because we didn't have the understanding, which would be the understanding. And that's what we're trying to achieve. It's so important that he labeled it, he coined it, that I'm going to give you a raw according to my own law, which is going to feed you with knowledge and understanding. That's what a shepherd does. He's in charge of the protection. He's in charge of the feeding and make sure that people have an understanding. Y'all got it? That's for all of us. He wouldn't have you do anything without. He said a person do something without understanding. He said words of death. You can have an honest intent, but you do it without understanding. He said you words of death. So these are the things that we look at, we try to consider to make sure we know why. Sometimes, coming from Christian antics or whatever religion, it ain't just Christian antics. I use it because that's one of the most dominant. Of course, they say now Islam is larger, but it still shows it's got the same rhetoric as Christianity. A lot of religions do, even with our religion, it's got some Christianity rhetoric that's intact. All the religions, none of them without it. None of them without it. All of them got some parts of it. That's why we fight so hard to kind of break away from those disciplines, because we realize sometimes those disciplines hurt us from advancing forward. And so it's important that when we do things that we consider our latter end. At the end of the day, I don't know how important it is for everybody, but it'll come up in the human mosh pot. How important salvation is for every one of us. How much work you'll put in, how much effort you'll actually put forth to make sure this is the center point and focal of everything you do. There are other things we intertwine and entangle ourselves in, but one thing we do, we can't be so into nothing that this ain't forefront. Sometimes some people are so webbed into you can't break out of. It can be relationships, it can be commitments, it can be careers. It could be finance, it could be health. You'd be surprised. So you got to be able to get things, be able to let it go. You got to be able to get it and grab it where I can let it go. Like a hot potato. You know what I'm saying? You get it, you got to pay a hot potato. Got to get rid of it. That fast when it comes to your salvation. What happens sometimes, people are whole. And because they're whole, it'll put them in a position where, you can't be saved. You think about it, we have an opportunity, we are sitting, we recipients of an opportunity that he's granted us that none of us in here can earn. You know, that's scary. That's very scary. Because I truly thought that that because I had given up some things and I had quit some things and turned away from some things, that it had designated me for salvation. Didn't you? I think if I had learned earlier that I had obtained this by favor and by no works whatsoever, anything I could have done, I probably just stayed where I was and just said, well, what's the point of? But it was that effort, you know, no doubt that it put forth, and you got to still have it. You know, that desire, that will, that fight to break away, because sometimes when you receive certain information, it'll put you in a situation where you might feel like, well, since it's by favor and not by works, I mean, really, what's the point? Either he gonna say, you heard people say that, either he gonna save me, he not. Some people, y'all heard people say that? Or maybe have any of you been that type of person? When you have been that person? I say for me, I wasn't. I don't know. I was in a strange part of my life. I didn't see salvation. I felt utter destruction coming. But then I guess I had that glimmer of hope, like when light kind of breaks through, that little glimmer of hope that maybe something will happen or something will change. But I saw more me burning, you know, well, I don't say burning, I just saw myself in a dark place, you know, and I try to rationalize it or try to maybe just leave it alone and just maybe it won't, or maybe, you know, you just, when you doom, what do you really hope for? What can you hope for when you doom? Does anybody know? Maybe you can't say, well, maybe he'll lie this one time. For what we know, he said it's impossible for him to lie. He said, I can't dissolve. If I said it, that's what has to happen. There's no way or no other kind of way it can turn, it can go another way. And, you know, to think about if he said it and he predestinated us for Yeshua, salvation, there's no other way. And that puts you it puts us in a special place that I never looked at in my life. To think that somebody looked upon us before we even got here and say, you. However he done it, I'm a saved. And there'll be some people that'll come and they'll do the works. They will manifest all of the works, but he won't save them. And to know that somebody can do more than you and be more accurate than you, can be more, what we would think would be more stable, but he'll see something about them to say, I can't use them. And typically we find ourselves, for a lot of us, we're the people a lot of times. How many of y'all the person to be counted out rather than counted in? Although I've been on a lot of things and done a lot of things, I'm more for counted out than counted in. I just looked at, if it's gonna work out for somebody, and you know, you just be good with it. That's life, as they say. But then to think about, how about if you've been the person that were counted in all the time, but this time, I count you out. I appreciate that for forgiving me and giving me an opportunity to be a recipient of Yeshua, salvation. Now, this favor that he gave isn't a favor where I can say, I ain't got to worry about nothing. You still got to constantly contend because it's so scary that the fact that it's like, if you're in school and you getting the work completed and you getting 100s, 98s, 92s, 96, are you really worried about failing? No. How far is failure from you? But with this, it's like you 70, 69, 69 failing, 70 barely passing. And it's like, I got to work. And it's like you work now out of debt, out of, I really owe you for this because I don't even know how I got it. I couldn't, you know how people, I don't know, how do you really explain how you got it? I just heard the word and started obeying. No, he chose you. And that's scary. Why us, who, I mean, not just in his room, please, nobody outside this room think that I'm just saying literally to everyone in this room, But to those to whom he had chosen and predestinated for this, it's like, then you want to know how you pick them. You know, sometimes you got people that have strategies, card players, people throw dice, they got a strategy. Football, everybody have a strategy or some type of plan they have or some workout. What was the strategy? How do we get picked? Was it the ones in the red bucket or the black bucket or the green bucket or the yellow bucket? Who knows? What dice? What was the number? Was it 7? They said 2 snake eyes with 2 because, you know, Yasharal and Yehuda 2. Was 2 actually the winning number and not snake eyes you out? How do we get this? How do we obtain this? Hello? Are y'all all right? Are y'all here? Is it just me? I mean, maybe I don't think about it. Maybe something you don't think about. And it's because you realize that he's giving you something that you could never earn, you could never work on, and never obtain of yourself, that you know, I owe this man. I owe this man. Because there's so many people liars, he'll let you meet people, grow with people, live with people, whatever it is, and he'll let you see 2 separate ways take off. And where you never thought anything about your life, things that he's done or how he favored you, he'll let you see the one fall. And he'll leave you standing in the life you complained about, the things you felt like weren't fair, whether you uttered it in your mouth or you kept it real close. There's a lot of things it never left my lips. But here and here, I know what I thought, and he knew, and I knew what I had in my heart. It wasn't ill feel, it's just gonna work out for everybody else but me. Why wouldn't it? It's just like every other time. You know, you can live your life so on to a way, I think I had lived my life so to an end that if I had got there, he told me to turn and go to Lake of Fire, I couldn't sit there and say why, even if I had did everything. I honestly, like some people, I wouldn't have had a defense. You know, of course, nobody will anyway, but I'm talking about it wouldn't have made a sense to put up a defense simply because of everything I'd done. Everything I'd done, it's like with him and them, and with all them right people. Anybody else understand what I'm saying? Who phone it is? That's your ad. Come on, put that, check up a bit, man. Can y'all put y'all phones like on off, silent? I mean, this shouldn't be nothing new, is it? Should it be new? Come on, bit man, get in. Oh, well. What you think? That thing was just written. It sounded like the ice cream man. Why would you use the ice cream man for your ring?
I was trying to put the watch on silent and push the...
Your watch got the ice cream man on it too? Who all got ice cream on it just on the phone? So the phone goes, ice cream! Like that Kool-Aid. But I don't, and for my young people, I do fuss at y'all, and I don't apologize, because I want you guys to consider this at an earlier age than we did. And just consider, when you're going through it, even when you're doing everything he told you to, everybody's life will go a different way. Even the young people, just like our life did. And where it looked like my life twisted and went off or jumped the curve and went just totally off map. I went totally like off the grid from the direction I was going and how I had things planned out. I had the American dream life. You know, to me, it's like, you know, this the American life. This is how you do it. This is where you go. And for some way or reason, them people wouldn't do that hamburger. They just didn't. They said the kitchen closed early. And I don't know that hamburger, because I slept, I thought about that hamburger all that night. And that morning I seen on that picture, I said, that's all I'm here for. I just want this hamburger and these fries. And I'll fight anybody you want me to fight. I'd have fought in that MIMP station. When I ain't get that hamburger and fries, I said, I ain't fighting nobody. I ain't signing no papers. I ain't pledging to nothing. I'm hungry. And my whole life just turned around over a hamburger and fries. Daniel, Mormon, not Billy. Billy, that's my boy. I can't give him no check. Val, I ain't see you. Somebody help me find him. John, how long we gonna try to keep a straight face? I know it was coming. Joanna, Danny, don't try to put on your neck, Johnny. Your neck will hurt you to wear that inner tube. Ain't nothing wrong with your neck. Y'all know if Danny's neck hurt, he wear that inner tube. Gonna try it like that. Yeah, yeah, man, it's kind of funny how that funny bone in my neck. What funny bone you got in your neck? Let me ask y'all something now. I'm finished. How many of y'all ticklish around your neck? I'm sorry. You say, I'm coming, I'm sorry. Put a check on the board. Brett got him. Let me see Brett. Come on, Brett. I'm Brian. Get your one. Oh, no. Oh, you see it. Yeah, I sit there. Oh, yeah. Come. Listen, this one, man. Come on, Spencer. Come on. I said, I just want to say, now, preach that thing, Chris. You sure going a long way. Say forever. You can't breathe? Why you can't breathe? No, come on. I'm not gonna. Come on. No, I'm on TV. I can't choke you. You're supposed to press charges. Come on. I'm not gonna. Come on. Who like this? Anybody else gonna like that? I'm not going to choke her. No, I put my hands on. You all right? Mm-hmm. What's wrong? Oh my goodness. I said, lay down, just watch. Let me put my hand. I just had to see it. I don't know, it's something funny. Anybody got that in their neck like that? For real? So sometimes I said, don't move, you just be still. And just put my hand right down. Oh boy, you touch her? Oh my goodness, man, like silly putty. But anyway, I just had to see it. I was just curious who else had it. But and I'm gonna get ready to move on. Again, looking at what he's granted us, this opportunity to be able to really understand him, I think is to have all this debt. You know what I'm saying? I guess, I carry a lot of debt. I think that's what, I know that's what keeps me bonded with him. It's the fact that so much debt I could have never gotten rid of. Chapter 11, 13, 7 couldn't help me for all the stuff I've done. All the things I thought, all the things I acted upon. And then, realizing you were chosen for something and didn't even realize it. But, I came in with a mind to work. That was my honest intent. I came in with a mind to work. I didn't have a mind to just come and just sit. I wanted to work because I knew I had to catch up. I came in behind, and I came in with a mind to work. And that mind has been there, Over time, you can kind of start to, things can get you comfortable. And it happens, and you need to know that. So you learn what you kind of keep yourself from and what you kind of make sure you maintain. Because you can get too comfortable, and before you know it, you'll get lax and you can be out. Even with being chosen, you still realize it could be a snare. I appreciate it. Just like, who in here know why you were chosen? Anybody? For record, anybody? Tell us why you were chosen. Then, does anybody know why he might reject you? He just found one, he just said, I reject it. But he has a reason, he has a rationale for it. Even if he didn't, could you change that? Because you said, I don't go, that's just stupid and dumb, and we ain't gonna go along with it. You'll be by yourself with a whole bunch of other people that'll burn later. So we set and serve Elohim to where you don't control him, you don't think for him, you try to learn to think as. You don't command him, you wait to take commandments, especially for people that have been practically enslaved all their life. And here it is, you have a master still. Everything we fought was having somebody over. If somebody white walked up and said, you know what, I'm over you. He said, hold on, you think you ain't no slave? Who the blank you talking to? I'm free. But he said, I'm over you. I'm your done, and you my servant. Basically, I'm your slave, and you my slave. I'm your master. And here we are, and we accept his ruleship simply because we looked at, we've operated and controlled for ourselves, but how much damage have we done? How many bad decisions we made? with all the knowledge we've obtained, with all the association of things and all the things we've seen, we still have managed to make some dumb, stupid decisions by ourselves. And I have been king of that person. I have to say, I have been in the forefront. I have been condemned of the person to make dumb, stupid decisions that I have sat back and could have just knocked my block out and so frustrated. I've been so frustrated, I could almost kill myself. I just said, this is just, when you said and realize this is about the dumbest, stupidest thing I think I could have done. Have anybody ever been at that point? You trying to wonder, how did I even make this decision? You know, thinking about it now, and of course you at the damage of thinking, it's like, how? But then that comes to allow us to realize something. Are you the person that won't be in control of you? Listen, I willingly surrendered myself to him. It's like you just went and gave up all your protection and just let somebody rule over you. Yes, when I saw what type of person I was as a leader. We made all the bad things we've done. We said other people influencers or whatever. But ultimately, unless a person had put a gun in our hands, unless a person had physically took our hands and put it to it and raped us, whatever it is, all these have been our own decisions. And the fact of, if it's been all through other people, influencers, that's even dangerous too. We ain't even smart enough to be left to our own with other people. Because we easily to be influenced. And to know that about ourselves is scary. You know what I mean? People have just been on the right path, had just went so far. You thinking, what was you thinking? That is about the stupidest thing I ever heard. Humans, people, left to their own devices, just like cool. Everybody can criticize us now, can't we? Because we're dealing with the effect. Had we been now, we'd have done what differently? No, we'd have held to the word. Wouldn't have moved us one time. He just showed us, left our own devices. We are some dangerous people. And then learning humility. When you mess up, I mean, I was thinking about, somebody was telling me about a police officer. Apparently he was sleeping with prostitutes. And he would get them and make them sleep with him, run them behind a building instead of lock them up and sleep with them. And one of the stores over there looking at him with disgust. Him and his partner wanted to know what was wrong. He's just like, you know, there's cameras all around here, right? But his partner didn't know what they were talking about. And they finally let him know about, you know, we got you on tape behind that building. You sleeping with these prostitutes. Which definitely gonna put him in jeopardy. He losing his job. So to cover it up, he decided to burn the buildings up. So he moved from one stupid act to even dumber act. But he did what we all would do. See, when you're trying to cover up something, it gets even worse. Daoud did it. When he slept with Bathsheba, he had Uriah killed. That's how dangerous and how quick your mind can go when we left our own devices. Think about it. It's bad enough. Oh, shoot, man, I've been sleeping with this man's wife. This is going to be a mess. I can't get him sleep. Something come to your mind and say, I'm going to just have him killed. It's like, now you done went from adultery to murder. You just messed up. But it all happened when you think about it. How much confidence do you think that Daoud had in the flesh after that? How much confidence? You've been picked. You're the Mashiach. Yahuwah done set you over the whole realm. Surely you're wise. Surely your decisions, your judgments are good too. And he leave you into your own device to show you how quick, how easy the eye can get you off. The appetite of the flesh. How all these things can get you out. We've all made bad decisions. Just think, had he just let them just kept running. Don't stop him. You got to cover this up. You got to take out everybody that know about it. And before you know it, you so far and you look at, had I just dealt with the situation at hand, it was bad, but this is life ending. And I can never recover this. So I don't think sometimes we really realize how important it is to set back to consider favor. Nothing we've ever earned. Nothing we can earn on our best day. That's scary. To know that somebody sits high, looks low, and keeps us based off of favor. And he's gotten us to a point of working because we really feel appreciative and we understand our debt. I owe you. You know, you picked me, you could have picked anybody. You could have picked anybody anybody. And finally, the rejected people, he said, I pick you. Which is in contrast with Yahushua. The stone became. This is what he's done for us. He's taken the end and put it up at the front. I'm going to take it, I'm going to move it right to Kadeem. I'm going to take what's in the back, I'm going to put it at the front. He told those that last, he said, I'm going to make them first. Those that first, he said, I'm going to make them last. What do you do with that? Yaakov, Asu, his op, what they call Esau. 2 babies in a womb. Who controls who comes out first? Who controls that? One came out, the other one holding, the other one anchored. But who controls who comes out first? 2 twins. Who controls that? Yahuwah. He said, I can make the first one last. And I make the last one first. Look at Yahushua. Who came out first? Him or Adam? Who's first? Listen to the people. Sometimes you got to listen to the people. What do people say? Know ye not that we should judge the alarm? And if the alarm, how much did this small it matter? How many people got checks up on that board? How many people with checks up there and say, you want to forgive him for his check, leave your hands up? And then Candy put another check up there. You can get with them. He wants to know, are we talking about him or Chris? That's tight. He said, Chris, you get a check for asking about it. Did we cut the heat on for some reason? It has really toasted for a second. That heat, I know it'll get a lot of folk. That check will cool you down. Remember like them check drinks. Well, I know he's saying Yahushua, but how we saw so many illustrations of how last became first out of him just choosing. Him choosing. It's like, wow. Y'all understand how important it is that this man favors you? Y'all know how many people's lives unraveled to where they can't get it back? Let me tell you something. I'm going to try to move. I said try. Do you know how easy it is to unravel your entire life in your face and you can't put it back together and nobody can? Do y'all know how many people's lives this man has unraveled that can never be put back? When this man starts peeling away on your life, you're done. You can never, ever put this back together. You can never recover. We saw when the Malak of Yasharon, when he was up and he fell down, Ahaz, when he fell down through the ladders, and he wanted to inquire, shall he recover? And what was he told? He said, you're not getting off this bed. You're not getting off this bed. This bed where you lay, this is where you're going to lay until you go to the cabal. This man has the authority to just unravel your life that where you lay, you won't recover. This man can do stuff that any of us in him without remedy. And the thing is, who can stop it? He can put in the laws of people that don't even pity you. He can put in people's laws that don't even shed a tear for you. He can put in every man's heart law to harden themselves against you just so you will know, I am against you. What do you do with a man like this? What do you do with a man like this? A lot of y'all don't realize how you sat and you served under Khan, as I do. That he sat that you favored. The day you won't miss a meal, the day you won't be outside. We don't know what'll happen when the Yom come. It's some people, they was outside yesterday, they was outside the day before that, and the day before that, And if he see fit to come up, they'll stay out there without remedy. It don't mean a whole lot to some of you because you haven't been in some places before. You hadn't done something. I had to sleep in my car before. It wasn't because my parents just had me out. It's because of choices. I was so far out in my life, it just made sense. Anybody had to do that before? Living in? It's because listen, your mind is just in a place to where this is just logical. That you're sleeping in your car. And this just makes sense because you're just so far out there to where this is just practical to you. I remember laying in my car, I could hear people walking by. And you just land, you hear people walking by. You'd be surprised what you can hear when you just laying in your car. Car's different when you drive and you getting to go somewhere, you sitting there doing some paperwork or texting versus I'm sleeping in my car. I'm sleeping in my car. This is my life. One man controls that. One man controlled the mind, the law of Nebuchadnezzar, that he sat and ruled over everything till he sat down and the dew of Shamin went across his back. His hair was like eagle feathers and his nails grew like claws. One man controlled that. Just as he would acknowledge that one man ruled over every realm, and he give it to whom he will. That's how you want to know it. That's how you want to say it. A lot of you keep back. A lot of us are guilty of keeping back what belongs to this man. Can you imagine? He has to think, did this man set me up? Did this man give me all this authority? Did this man give me all this preeminence just to take me down and let people see me at the lowest point of my life? And that I would confess it, that this man ruled in the Malkuth of Elohim, Anashim, and that he give it to whom he will. When you see people with houses, you see people with cars, and you lust, and you go after, nobody tell you don't lust. I gave it to whom I will. I could have gave it to him to pay a debt. I didn't say I'll save him. I just restore the debt. You know the book said that whatever two things any each do, whether he bond or free, he said the same he'll receive. They don't know why rich people sometimes, look at them hypocrites, they out here, they'll try to give stuff to charity, give stuff back. They know your book. That whatever two things any man do, he said he'll receive that from me. I didn't say I'll save him. These people smart enough to do enough that where he said, you know what, I'll pay you for that. You did it, I'll pay you for it. But I'm gonna repay you when I come here in the mosh pot. This ain't the man you wanna play with. This ain't the man you wanna play chess with and thinking games with. This ain't the man you wanna try to manipulate. This the man show you, you too easy to be manipulated. So don't play me. Don't con him. Y'all got that? I appreciate him. I appreciate him for sparing my life. I'll be honest with y'all. If this man, I had to say like Cain did, they called Cain. If this man were to try to pay me back for everything I do, I'll be honest with you, it'd be more, my punishment would be more than I could bear. I ain't gonna tell you no lie, I never understood that. It's more than what I could bear. It's no way possible I could take the punishment for everything I've done. Anybody else? Who ain't gonna take the punishment for what they done? How could I? If this man come back and fixate all his anger on me, all his wrath and all his indignation for what I done, it overwhelmed you. What could you do? And the fact that he knows that, and he's already considered that, he said, you know what? I'm gonna do you a favor. Y'all don't know what a relief that was. Can you imagine that? You coming in for punishment, looking for your punishment to come, and the man say, you know what I'm gonna do? Smith, I'm gonna do you a favor. Y'all don't know what a relief that is. You just don't know what a relief it is. And it's a relief for you if he do it for you. But you got to be minded to stay in the Duraq. And when you consider, since I didn't earn it, And it's something you gave to me by favor, concede. I got to make sure I don't mess this up. At least saying in one here, he shared, I'm going to make this one count. I screwed up the other ones now. But this one right here, this the long one. I can't screw this one up. I'm telling anybody in here, you need to get you some debt. Y'all understand me? You need to go back through there and look at some debt you owe. It'll make you serving better. You serve different. I can't afford nothing else. I'm stressed out. I'm mad. You got a car that mad. If I run, that thing said no. I can't put nothing else on the bill. Y'all got it. I'm stuck with, man, I'm trying to work off debt. Y'all know what I'm saying? That's where I'm at. I'm working off debt, but he giving it to me by, it's like, why are you still working for paying debt when he gave it to you by favor? He just pulled my law. I owe him this. That's why I had to be him. I owe him this. I ain't here because he gonna save me from it. He done already gave it to me by conceit. I'm here out of debt. And I appreciate it, and I want to show him. I don't want you, sometimes you ever done something for a person, or people, or person, and you felt like, wow, that wasn't nothing for them. Have you ever felt that to you that seemed like they weren't grateful? It seemed like, wow, it's like it was nothing. So for me to go home and just lay back and not be him, for me not to keep everything he given me, it's like a slap in his face. It's like something I could never obtain. It ain't like I could have went and got a loan and got it, because he wasn't selling it. We tried to purchase it before, remember? He said, catch that stuff. He said, catch that stuff to the pottle. Isn't that right? He didn't want that, man, get that stuff back there. He said, man, I don't want that stuff. Throw that stuff over there for them people. I don't want that stuff. I mean, what do you do? Had he took the 30 pieces of silver, then we can say, okay, hey, hold, big man. Oh, don't play crazy now. Ain't like we ain't paid you for this now. Y'all saw what they did to Yehuda. They gave that money right back to him. They said, man, take that money, man. They said, man, he tried to get that stuff back. They said, man, we don't want that stuff, man. He ain't even want it. He earned it. He earned it. Y'all know he earned that money. That was the agreement. That he get his man over, he was going to be paid 30 pieces of silver. Even Yahuwah said he set a goodly price for what he was appraised for. But when he obtained the monies, he tried to come back out of guilt and realized, man, I was wrong, get it back. They said, man, we don't want that stuff. They're like, man, what? He like, he said, I don't want it. They said, we don't want it either. He said, I'll do it. He said, man, catch that stuff over there to the potter. They said, man, get that stuff to the folk for the dead. They're like, man, nobody wanted it. So he looked at it, I didn't take your money. So we didn't even pay for it. What you do? What do you do? I don't know, maybe it's mean. Maybe it's mean. What do you do when you got something you don't deserve, you hadn't earned it, you can't pay for it, you can't come back and you can't exact it. You're supposed to exact everything. How do you exact this salvation? Just keep going to service. He had people already doing that. Y'all understand he cut people off that were people that kept Torah? They were people that kept the Torah. And here we are trying to obtain that same knowledge. They said, I actually did by favor. He said, I just gave you the Torah till the promise should come. I just gave it to you till the promise should come. Y'all got it? I appreciate it. I'm grateful. I don't know about the rest of y'all, but I want to make sure you need to consider where you're at. You need to consider your situation. I assure you, it's a lot worse situation than what you're in. Huh? There's a lot of people crippled from the neck down. A lot of people blind. A lot of people no family, nobody. They just left out. And you know what? Ain't nobody coming. They can cry out, sock out loud they can. You ain't gonna believe it. Ain't nobody coming. Nobody gonna rescue. Somebody rescued us. I cried a long time. I had given up hope. I was giving up hope. I was gonna kill myself. I felt like he ain't come, he wasn't gonna do it. In due time, what'd he do? You gotta consider, you know how many people tell him, I pull that for you. I'll pull that for you. You know, we probably don't even know how many guns people put in their head, they didn't even pull the trigger. Trap you to a point that he put you right there with a knife to your throat, a bullet to your head. I'll do that for you. I put you here for a reason, because you won't leave this spot. Anybody here contemplated suicide? So why you didn't go through with it? Logic came, rationality came, my senses kicked in. Was this our reasoning? But he needed us to get to that point so you'll realize this is where you put yourself at. I didn't get myself there to get ready to kill myself because something he did. It was because what I did. Come to a point to where I don't see how to get out of it. I'm trapped. I just want to be done. I just want to be over with. You want to try to spike your hurt out to other people. The only problem you got is you won't be here to see it. And they will get over their hurt. So you realize you got to stop making it about people and get down to what it is. It's you. Just like Nathan told Daoud, thou art the man. Everyone had to realize, thou art the man. It ain't nobody else, it's us. So he give us this opportunity, put you in that situation just so you can realize this is where you led you. These are your choices. You trying to lash out and you gonna put it on me and say, I'm the reason why, because I ain't come, I hadn't heard you. You ain't heard me. I've been talking. You saying now, I'm trying to get it right. I'm crying out to you, and you won't hear me. He said, you know how long I've been crying out to you? You know how many chances I've given you, but then still to come and rescue us. You got to have some debt on you. Debt make a difference. I'm telling you, debt make a difference. It make a difference. So you really understand, because there be people saying, I can't see you being saved, not you. And that's why they do it, because they favor. And you have to see the difference between the act of a work and the act of favor. Favor is just that. I can't see you being saved. Of course you can't, because it's favor. Works can be son. You see a kid up there on the honor roll, you talking about what? They got an honor, they got all A's and no B's, and they're on the principal list? Who did that? How much sense that make? How in the world how you get a principal list? You got all A's and they gonna put you on the principal list? Y'all ever hear anybody jump up and complain about that? Why? It makes sense. You earned it. Oliver, flat F. I can't see you making that man roll. If you left it up because the flat, do y'all understand that there's nobody that'll be justified to that man when it comes down to the works of the Torah? Think about it. He put it here and set to show you a man just not able to do it. He just hadn't been able to do it. The ones he got, he said, I'm going to set a barif with you. That those that'll proceed out from you, if they will halak the same way, I'm going to grant them according to what I gave you. That he put particular people in place and established something and then said, these are the people that'll issue out from you. And now you looking according like they would, they looking for the flesh. Then you start finding people that could mimic the works. So then we learn it wasn't about the flesh. Because of the way we think, we're looking for it to come out from us. He said, but he did take something from us. He considered the amunah that Abraham had to be a genetic part of him, to where if another man duplicated, you know, if they do that now, they'll tell y'all, y'all remember that first sheep they had? What do they call that sheep? Dolly. And they said they replicated from another sheep. He said, that's what I'm gonna do. We're going to take that, and I want people to replicate it and duplicate it. And I'm going to account that to you for everybody that comes out and mimics and demonstrate them same behavior works. I'm going to account these people. I'm going to account this to these people as Sadiq. If it was such a law. That's what he relied with us. If it was such a law in the people. When those people spoke out and they told him what we told them, our fathers, our Abba and them told him what we would do. You know what he said? Where their heart was then, he said, if it was a heart like that in them, If it was in them always, that they had a heart like that. You speak to us and we'll do it. We'll do it. If they feared me always, and I'm telling you, when you really grasp favor versus works and realize there is absolutely nothing you could have done. Okay, let's do this. Come by for a second. Stand here. What? Turn this way. Turn back that way. Yeah, stand that way. I don't want to give you no check. Turn around. You just chilling for a minute. Just chill for a second. You gonna cross the street. Hold on, sir. Woo! Come on, big man. My brother Jack Carr. I know. Come on, my brother Jack Carr. Y'all saw me. Wasn't I patient? The favor wore out. That's how I said. You know how quick favor go? What y'all thought when I first said I ain't gonna give you no check? Man, that favor. Look at that go favor. Cause he deserved a check. But you see when you can run favor too long. No, come over here, big man. We'll try again. Just stand away. You're gonna cross the street when I tell you. There you go. Whew. Y'all tell what I'm doing. You can cross the street. Oh, mother blank. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. What the world done happened? Woo. What happened, y'all? What happened? What's the first thing we said ourselves? What the world? Because now the automatic is the question. What the world? What just happened? I need you here when the police come. Bree said he jumped out in front. Be here when the police come. Because you know what? The first thing about how the natural reaction is to say, what the world? What the world happened? What happened? I hit a man and killed him because I was texting and driving. Back in my mind, what could I have done differently? Paid attention. Hungry? Don't text and drive. These are all the things I can go back through and look at what I could have done different and change this situation. This could have been a whole nother situation had I not been texting while I was driving. This man would be alive. We're here, family. I wouldn't be looking at prosecution, going to jail, losing everything I got because of a decision. I can backtrack this and look at what could have fixed. Here we go right home. Now, help me backtrack on what I could have done differently in my life, over the things I've done in my life to obtain favor, to get his favor. What I could have done differently. Come on, y'all just help me figure this out. What I could have done different to obtain the favor. What works? What deeds? What could I, come on, y'all just figure. Look how quick y'all came up with the answer. What did I do? What did I do when the man crossed the street? Man, across the street, I text while I drive. I hit the man. He was the man that I hit. Come on, big man, one more time. Favor run out. It can't go through. I struck a man. Hypothetically, I killed a man. We can recount this as quick as that. Had you not been texting. So now I can look at, this could have changed. This could have been a whole different way. Had I just not been texting, had I not been driving. My first mind was, don't even go out the house today. Just that, all that I could play with. If I'd have stayed home today, because my first mind would not even go out today. Then, I was fooling with the phone. I have not been fooling with the phone. Or in my phone, if I just looked up a second earlier, all this could have changed. Agree? What could I have done to obtain favor? Y'all just agreed with me, right, on the situation? What's the problem now? I can't get nothing out of y'all. What could I have done to obtain favor? All cool, y'all? What could I have done to obtain it? Anybody? If you got an answer, at that point when I need an answer, what could I have done to obtain favor? Y'all exactly right. That don't scare you. Now, you know what's scary? Hitting, striking him, texting while driving. That's scary because, oh, my whole world in. What's scary to me is how you get something that you can't even earn. That's scary. And then, could I lose it? Since it ain't something I earned, it's something he gave me, he can give it and he can take it. So now I work to make sure I keep it. Y'all, you need to understand where you at, because some people take this as, it don't matter what I do. God gave me favor. Y'all heard folks say that, God favored me. I could lose this because I did. He had the right, because you never earned it. I just gave it to you. And you can impede and go and not realize the debt you have on you, and you have something that I gave you, you could have never earned it. You never chose me. I chose you. I gotta be him. I had to be him. You know what I'm saying? I talk about Joseph Webb moving that boy, he was in there, he was in the bar, and the guy walked in there, and everybody got quiet, and Joseph Webb, he said, I'm looking for Joseph Webb. Joseph was sitting on the wall. He said, you're a bounty hunter? He said, man, got to do something for a living. He said, dying ain't much of a living, boy. He said, you can turn around and go back out that door. The guy looked at Joseph, he turned around and walked back out the door. Everybody else started back talking. Man, that was a tight one. That's why that door propped back open. He came back in that saloon, he had 2 guns on. He said, I had to come back. Joseph said, I know. And blow that joker straight back out that door. He knew, he just said, I had to. Y'all ain't gonna believe it. I had to be him. I had to be him. I had too much debt. I don't want to lose it. So I think if I could obtain it by works, I wouldn't be appreciative. I wouldn't see it the same way if it was a work, if it was an act, if it was a dance, if it was a song. Because I had to do my dance. Sing my song. Y'all got it? But the fact you've obtained something, and this has nothing to do with your works, I need you to understand the power, it's just favor. Isn't that right? It's just favor. Now, having said all that, I'm going to tell y'all this and I got away. On Wednesday night, I got up to correct something that was said when Sharrett Justice was preaching, because I heard something. I thought I heard something different. And just like I got up to say something about it then, it's only fitting and right to get up and correct whatever been done. One thing that you'll know, and you have to be willing to not only just give correction, take correction. If you're wrong, that's where you can show where your strength is at, to be able to admit it and be able to correct it. And I appreciate it. I appreciate Justin taking it. Justin, where you at? Just get your black self in here. I mean, Justin. Justin, that, I know, is that heat back on again? Is it just me, y'all? Is it, well, I feel like it's a toast on my back. It's hot too. The heat on. You feel it, Karen? Come take one of them checks off, Karen. And you know that, Ralph. You know it's hot. I know that, right? Don't mess around, Karen. Don't mess it up, Karen. No, not you. I can hear him. Put one, leave it alone, Karen. Come here. Come on, leave it alone. You get messed up. I just told him, come on. No, come on. I knew, Karen, y'all see me, what he had when he was going up here? And what he wound up doing? See how quick you can lose the Karen? You know what it like? What it with Karen? It's all about competing for what you believe now. No, come and say, I did. I want to apologize to you in person for that. No, don't try to help me. But yeah, I want to apologize in person because I thought I heard something. I want to apologize. I appreciate you, how you took correction and how you did that and patient and came in and stood. I mean, that mean a lot. And that show, and that growth for Justin too, man. It gave you a chance, really, for all the growth. And I want to do that, and also I got something to do. But I wanted to do that because that's what you do when you're a man. You admit when you're wrong, and you take correction when it come your way. That's for growth. Most of us don't know. This is something I told y'all when we had a meeting. People look for strength in just doing something. You really find a real strength in what you're doing and how solid it is when trouble and things hit it. Because that shows how you act, how really solid things are. You know, you think about, I mean, just like when he talked about when a man builds a house. One builds on the sand, another one builds on the rock. And he told you when the storm comes and the flood comes, both of these men, when they build a house, they feel like my house is just as good as his house. His house ain't no better than my house until trouble comes. He said when the storm comes and the rain, and he said when it beat on that house, he said that house fall. He said because it was not on the sewer, because it went on the rock. So that's the only way, because as long as nothing coming, that house look just like your house. You'll look at relationships will look just like your relationship until storms come and hit it. And that's your chance when you can see whether you've grown. The writings teach us in the, they call it epistles, Cuff, when he told us what profit is it if you buffet it and you take it when you're supposed to get, like somebody said, I take my correction, I done wrong. You know, the book said you hadn't done nothing by doing that. That's absolutely, now like people say, well, I've grown, I take my correction when I done wrong. And as that, you have done absolutely nothing. Why wouldn't you? Right. You did wrong. Right. He said, but when you take it and you've done nothing, y'all know the why they told you that, if you think about in the 8th chapter of the book of Acts of the Charlotte King, where it told you how he was led like a sheep to the slaughter and like a lamb. So open he not his mouth. Because he supposed to told y'all he wasn't guilty. He never told you that. You know why? Because it was thanksworthy. Because he did open his mouth. He told him that he would have been Elohim. He talked with Pelotus, did he not? Him and Pelotus had conversation. When he told he the Malaka, he said, you said it. He said, you said it. So how did he open his mouth? He never opened his mouth to tell people he was not guilty. Listen, I'm going to go, but I ain't the guilty person. Just between me and you, all these niggas really did wrong, not me. I'm just letting you know, I ain't going to tell everybody you hold it right here among you. See, a lot of folk don't know, I never did that. See, I'm the being out of him. He never told you that. So this is where the word comes in to show us, can it correct something? See, that's what, think what it given, is all the Ketuvim, the writers are given by, which means he inspired it. And it's profitable for teaching, reproof, correction, and how to do what? That's why we bring it back and we get it what? Because that's the book. That's how we know the book works. Okay? That makes sense? So I want to do that publicly because I got to say what I said, and that's the right thing to do. All right? And also, I want you to preach. Because you say you had some more you need to finish up and do. Yes, sir. I still got to watch you. You're a black man. Don't go ahead. I'm not grabbing my breast. Shit. Some men have breasts.
I do. If I do enough decline. Oh yeah, I got you.
You put up on reading up on your shirt. I put it back. Put it under your shirt.
Oh, this goes on the shirt. That's right. That's right. I'm thinking of the P as well.
Hold on. Come put a check up here.
That's good right there. Got it.
So you got to put a check up front.
Put your check up. Thank you. Yeah. Am I on too? Everything good? Everything's good? All right. I appreciate that, preacher. I told him, we and him talked a few different times before, and I understood, even hearing him talk, I texted him, I understood where he's coming from, and even hearing when we met, that he wasn't the only one who took it that way. So I know when you have more people that can take it, like if it ain't just one person, even if it's just one, it ain't impossible, but you have multiple who take it the same way then. Obviously the message was relayed good enough for everyone to take it that. You know, if some people say they understood it and some didn't, you know, so that's an opportunity to get better. But that's why, like I said, I was, even before I asked, like, what, you know, I asked you guys a question before because I really want to know where we're at as a group. But I heard a preacher, and the funny thing is, I always want a preacher to say it's a great message. You know, that's your goal. For me, I don't say that's my goal, you know what I'm saying, obviously be saved. No, see, y'all hear me. I want to be saved. That's my goal. But you know, as someone you look up to, you always want that person you look up to be able to say, hey, you did a great job. So it's funny, I walked off, and the thing is funny, a couple people say, hey man, great job. And I know they were thinking, as soon as preacher said, I don't go along with it, I heard, I was like, oh boy. I said, well, this is gonna be tight. And I know they're thinking like, man, I just told the man, great job. He ain't got me in trouble. Like, cause I know he gonna say, what y'all thought was a great job? Y'all some horrible, you know. But in times past, when he said mature, I was always more of a hothead anyways. If I feel I'm right about something, my wife, she knows and saw me grow. If I feel I'm right about something, I'm going to stick to that. And you know, and that can also be a detriment. But I've even learned through preacher as far as maturity. So when I heard it, and I heard every, you know, he went in, I was in the finance room, them guys were as quiet as all outdoors. But they were good. There was like a consoling type, you know, like, you know, I keep getting it right now. We ain't gonna talk, we just gonna listen. We ain't gonna rub it in. You know, I can just feel their vibe, like, I know he's feeling, you know, and your mind is like, you're angry, and you're just kind of like, man, you know, and I'm thinking like, man, what did he hear? Like, what did I say or what did he hear? But you're thinking like, man, like, if you want to be right, you'll be right. But I off the rip, I just understood, like, I knew where he was coming from. Cause like, whatever he heard, and we've talked before, I said, I understand where his viewpoint, why he comes, the way he does on stuff, and why he looks at things the way he does. Not just him, and I know being white, if you hear a white person say, I understand when you say, I don't think you can understand that. And I wouldn't even want to fight you and try to, yeah, you can. And, you know, I get where that comes from, whether you can believe me on that or not. But his angle, I knew where he was coming from. And my angle was I wouldn't even fight him on that. That wouldn't ever be a situation, man, what you hear, you know, that's not, when I heard it, I just knew the first thing that came out of what you quoted. The first thing I just said, you know what? I said, I've been wrong so many times before. And not that it's easy to be wrong, but I should say, like, when you get caught being wrong, or you know you're wrong and you got to confess, or, you know, you just red-handedly caught, whatever they say, and it's like, it's easy for us to apologize. It's like, okay, well, now I'm sorry, you know. But like you said, to be in a situation where you feel you're not wrong, and even if you say you are wrong, but you feel you're not wrong, that it takes a lot to be able to say, well, you know, not be a hothead and fight back, you know. And I felt like there was just an opportunity. When he said the first thing in my mind was like, you know, I know preacher. Dave said on the phone earlier, but you said, I appreciate it. You said, when he asked you, did you understand? And you were like, I just kind of know Justin. So I kind of like, even though I could see where it could sound like that, I maybe just a track record of where you're getting at. And that's how I was with you. When you went, I said, I know where he's coming from, and I know preacher's track record of this ain't no personal attack. This is, he heard something he didn't like, and I know you as a shepherd have to defend, because if you looked at something that this is going to throw these guys off the fold, I know you have to do your job. So I knew off the rip, I just said, I think Chris said, man, I think it just might be a misunderstanding. I remember, and I told them guys, you know, I said, man, listen, I'm not apologizing because I know what I said and didn't say. If I can see it, I will apologize. You know, but I told him, I said, but I'm gonna take the correction. I told him, I'm gonna take the correction. I said, I'm not about to go ahead, because I got up. I don't know if they thought he about to go act a fool, like stop, like, hey, what you saying? And that was, I was like, no, I'm taking my correction. You know, I wasn't no. And when we talked, I went to him. It wouldn't even. I didn't want to talk to him. I just say, hey man, no hard feelings. You working out? You know, he pulled me aside and we talked. But I appreciate you saying sorry, preacher. I do. And you didn't have to understand where you're coming from. I really do. I mean, what you said, we talked plenty of times. When you tell me about the plight of the so-called black man and everything that kind of comes with that, I understand. Like I said, I understand what you said the best way I can put it. I really do. So I wasn't. I would never hold that to you. I never would hold that to you. And I've let you down so many times before. So I know your track record and what you're about, and I know you care about these people. I told my wife. I said. She was concerned, you know. She was concerned about, you know, what are you going to, you know, like, not all that I'm physically going to come and preach. I'm not like that, but she knows I can argue. I'll argue and I'll fight if I think I'm right. And she's just thinking like, what, you know, what's your next move? Where's your mind at? And I said, you ain't got nothing to worry about. I said, I ain't got nothing to say to the preacher, not in the bed, like I ain't got nothing to say. I'm saying I ain't got, you know, like, all I know is I heard what I heard. And I just know, like, I ain't got nothing. Mine is like, we're good. If he wants to talk, we'll talk. But I said, I think one of the reasons he probably didn't meet that night, and I could be wrong, you can correct me, maybe he felt like you had enough care for me that maybe you thought, if we meet tonight, it's a chance Justin's going to be upset and he could get back with me and it's not going to be good for him. And maybe for the standpoint of, how about we don't meet for his own good of, I don't need him. If he do something, he had a line, this ain't gonna be good. And for the standpoint, I thought that I said he probably meet just for that reason. It's like, for caring for my well-being. Just looking like, I know it'll be good for him. If he is hot, let him cool down and, or he can make a fool with his own self, but I told my wife that. So I feel like his care was really, even after it was more about me. And even with stuff you said, you threw, they say, dropped a lot of gems for the ministry. Through all the, when you come down that middle preach, you come down like a steamroller. I know we've all, most of us felt that, it's not a good feeling, but you said a lot of stuff that I looked at. What he said, I definitely can rock with that, and that can make me better as well. So definitely appreciate you. And for everyone who else heard, and I didn't do a good job explaining it. Sorry for mumbling. Good enough job for explaining it. I do apologize for that. And like I said, next time I just try to do a better job, And so y'all know, all I was just trying to say at the end of the day, I don't want us to use excuses other people have used as to why they go out and make a mess. And it ain't about fighting them. It's just I don't want to see us make the decision. And I know even if you're still here, I just feel like sometimes things can linger where people can plant that seed, which is why he got up, I believe, no doubt, of, hey, you can get up and say something. I've got to cut that down quick so we don't have people got things like, well, you know what? Think about what he said, because people have done that here, where they've put little stuff out and they go about their way, and now, what do you know? It's in your mind, and every time now you get tempted, it's easy kind of like, well, they did say held in it, it ain't really a word, saying we are learning Abari, and there really ain't no word, and we'll use, our flesh will use stuff to get us out the way, so that's all I was trying to say. Definitely wasn't trying to say take the synagogue down. I wanted to close the doors on people making excuses and just say, hey, whether you say synagogue and you use etymology, it's going to go right back, saying that what you say you don't believe in or it's from the Greek in the first place. At the end of the day, there's going to be a place of eternal damnation, But I just wanted to clear that up for y'all. If it makes more sense to you guys, if not, like I said, most high willing, we'll get, I can do a better job just going forward. But I guess kind of on that topic, I was saying, I guess, when we served as Christians and we were under Jesus, a lot of us were what they call Bible believers, right? Before we heard preacher. And a lot of us put so much trust in that book, right? It was what it was. A lot of us either were raised that way or we just chose to believe that. But we searched for someone who could actually rightly divide it, right? I know that was for me at least where I was going church to church just trying to say, okay, well, I say I believe this book, but no one seems to be teaching this properly, or they let this stuff out. So when I heard preacher, I heard someone literally just like, hey, this is what the book says. Now, I was like, that's what drew me here. I was like, because I'm like, I believe this book, and someone's rightly taking this piece by piece and showing what it means and how you're supposed to serve. I think a lot of us had that same zeal. And for me, that was actually my first real Christian experience. Like, I didn't get that whole lot of Christian experience a lot of people had, I guess you say, where you've been duped in a lot of ways. As I started to believe the book, my family wasn't religious, so I was always searching with kind of an eye of like, is it saying versus, growing up and kind of always being kind of what they say, brainwashed. But I think when we all came down, I think all of us kind of had that zeal. And there was a real trust in the book, so I think that's what happened to where, why I say it quote unquote seems like we served better than Jesus, not again saying we should serve Jesus. I'm not saying we use Jesus or anything like that. I'm saying that I believe there was so much of a trust in Jesus and a fear, and we believed in it so much, that's why there was a behavior. And I think once we transitioned, what tends to happen is it becomes something that we weren't accustomed to doing. And I think along the way, it began to be a point of once you find out something you believed in so long, and you say, man, these folks have been playing with this, or man, they ain't his name and they've been telling us this. The first thought process a lot of people go to is like, well, what's right now? If this is wrong, it could all be wrong. Would you guys agree to that, or is it just me? So, and I think in a sense, we'll carry that too much to a point now it becomes easier to transgress. Because it's just like, well, we don't know what's right, And anytime when you get tempted, and all of us been tempted before, you will lie to yourself, you will tell yourself things, you will get yourself to a point of, whatever I do to commit this, to make myself feel okay for the time being. And I feel like not all of us, but in any transition, anytime you transition to something new and you realize, man, everything I put my trust into has been, and in my eyes, like, man, shoot, if this ain't right, what else? You know, how we trust this, but we do trust that. So at the end of the day, that my whole goal is just to get us a point of saying, listen, just because we're transition does not change what Yahuwah is told, you know what I'm saying, what he said. It doesn't change, you know what I'm saying, it just doesn't change. And it's, I guess, trying to get that fear of transition out and get that excuse out of like, well, you know, we really don't know, because we do know. You know what I'm saying? I believe we do know, you know, and it's just a matter of we've allowed things to change. What's that, Galatians, the 3rd chapter? I want to just talk y'all ears. Let me just, give me Galatians chapter 3 real quick. Or give me Romans 15:4 first, please, so we got that base. Romans 15:4. You can go ahead, Chris.
For whatever Nikatab before, Nikatab Talamadus, so that through endurance and through the Nakum of the Ketubim, we might have Tikva.
And I always tell you guys, like, you have to really believe this to a point of seeing yourself within this to really get that consolation. Because I always tell you, a lot of times I preach, this was written after the fact. A lot of these people were, you know, when they're there, they had to actually endure this as time went on. We get the benefit of going and reading the whole story, getting to see the ending first. But I try to get you guys to actually say relate into this. Now, Galatians, the 3rd chapter, wasn't, quote unquote, they say Old Testament, but it was still written forth from our time. You know what I'm saying? So it's still for our consolation. But it was written before our time. I think it's Galatians chapter 3, verse 1. Go ahead, Aki. Sheriff Lee.
You lacking da'at, Galatian, who has bewitched you with your paw, that you should not obey, that you should not shama the Amat. Before whose own, after that, Yahushua, the Mashiach, was executed as having been crucified. This only I want to lament from you. Did you receive the Ruach, whether by the works of the Torah or by Shama with Amunah?
And this is what preachers is talking about. You know what I'm saying? As far as did we get this did we get the Ruach by the law of hearing of Amunah? Go ahead.
Are you foolish so much? Having begun in the Ruach, are you now being Tamim by the Basar?
And touching on what he's saying, like I said, it just goes right what preacher's saying. At the end of the day, if Yahuwah chose us, say he chose you, Dexter, individually, and he's, you know, and I'm hypothetically, he spoke to you, hey, I chose you, and you know that you're being chosen, it wouldn't make sense now to say, well, now I'm going to get saved because I'm about to start keeping the law. You know what I'm saying? It's already been chosen. And when you look at being predestinated, and you can say we're being chosen, and people can say, well, now if that's the case, I ain't got to do nothing. I always say this, whatever you start to think in the mind, this is the mind he's giving you. So I can't see a person, he's predestinated and say, Eric, I chose you for salvation. And Eric's mind jumped to, well, I ain't got to do nothing. I believe if he's going to save you and he chose you, he's giving you that mind of what I have to do, what I need to be on top of. What, saying, and I think it's Oriyah, maybe the 7th chapter, we don't got to get it right now. But it talked about a woman who was committed much kataim, which they say sins. And he said how she was actually ahab much because she was forgiven much. And a lot of us, like he's just saying, being in debt. When you're in a lot of debt, and I think he spoke martially before that about saying, asking if somebody was in more debt, just hypothetically, to paraphrase Cam, if you owe me 10 grand, I'm going to use Ames Smith. Kennedy, you owe me 100 grand, I forgive y'all debt. Who do you think is going to love ahab me more? Exactly. So you think about a lot of us have made mistakes, and a lot of situations have, but because of the multiple mistakes and multitude of katims, they say, it should put us in a situation of actually ahabing him more when you get out of that state. It should be like, hey, I don't have no time to play around. And so like he's saying here, when you get to this point of you've been forgiven, You've been chosen. It makes no sense to start putting your trust in the works of the Torah. Not that we should not be obeying it, but that works hand in hand to the point of, I've gotten in mind, I've been chosen to be saved. It's in my life to do what he asked me to do. But go ahead.
Did you endure so much in vain, if indeed it was in vain? Behold, he supplies the Ruach to you, and working by the mighty works of power among you, you do these works of the Torah, or by the mighty Shammah with Amanah.
Keep going.
As Abraham amon Elohim, and it was reckoned to him as Sadiq.
Yep.
Know therefore that the Beni of Amunah are Beni of Abraham.
Keep going.
The Katab, having foreseen that the Elohim would Sadak the Goim out of Amunah, preached the tube news to Abraham, saying, all the Goim shall be Barak in you.
Correct. Go ahead.
Therefore, the Beni of Amunah shall be Barak with Abraham the Aman.
Keep going.
For the Beni of the works of the Torah are to them under the Al-Ah. For it is Katab. Al-Ah is everyone who abide not in all things which are Katab in the scroll of the Torah to do them.
Keep going.
And it is known that no Ish is Sadak, that is by the Torah, before Elohim is evident, for the Sadiq shall Ka'i by Amanah.
Keep going.
And the Torah is not of Amanah, but the Ish that does them shall Ka'i by them.
I'm looking for is it the 4th chapter? It talks about observing days and months, the years. Is that the 4th chapter I'm thinking about? Yeah. The 4th chapter. Yeah, go to the 4th chapter. I'm sorry. Give me Galatians 4th chapter. I thought it was the 3rd one. That was a good one too. Was it down to 18 verse I'm thinking? Is it 4 and 18? 16? I like that. Keep going down. What's the last verse in there? Keep going, keep going. Keep going. Is it 4 and 10? Appreciate it. See my pastor again, 4 and 10. Appreciate that. This one I'm looking at. So go up to about 9. Actually, it's about verse 1. Keep going up. Go up. Oh, that's fine right there. 7. You start at 7. Go ahead. This is what I was looking for. Appreciate it, Dexter.
Therefore, you are no longer a Abad, but a Ben. And if a Ben, you are also an heir of the inheritance of the Elohim through the Mashiach.
Yep.
Formerly, when they did not know Elohim, you served those which by nature are not Elohim.
This is kind of what I was talking about, why I wanted to get this. We served Jesus, you know what I'm saying, and it had no power in that. But we served it. We thought it was right, and we served under that, right? And let's keep going what he says, what happened. This is similar to what he's saying with these folks. That's why I wanted to get this. Go ahead.
But now, after that, you have known the Elohim, and more, that you have been known by Elohim. How do you return to those weak and poor principles that you desire again to surrender yourself at Rashid?
And the thing is, that's why I asked, because we have gotten to a point where now we serve Jesus, which we know wasn't his name, but we've got the right name, Yahushua. We've got the right Yahuwah as far as Elohim. We've come and gotten stuff where we actually should have further in advance. But the thing is, instead it's like we went backwards. And I say as a whole, you know what I'm saying? And I think that's why I asked, how do we get something better and take that to a situation where, in a sense, where we've had to confess more. Honestly, when we were under the Way of God Church, Lord Jesus, I don't remember confessions like that. I don't remember even when we were Yeshua. I just don't remember having to confess that many times. But it's amazing that with a better name, with the right name, I said better, the right name, Shem, the right way, and getting more information and knowledge and transitioning is almost like we said, went right back to the beggar elements. And the trick to it in a sense is where folks say, well, hey, because it's a language, we don't know what, at this point, since we don't know I read fluently, we don't know what this says and don't say in the language. But it's almost like that ain't in the situation. The situation is we went back to actually the elements of Katain before we got, before we came here with a mindset of repentance, live right, live clean, and we let some words say, well, I don't know if adultery is right or wrong. Now, and that's why I say, like, just because Yahuwah wouldn't have used the word adultery, just because he wanted to use whatever the Greek word was, there was a designated word he spoke to the Moshe that said, you shouldn't do this. You know what I'm saying? There's still an action. That's why I was saying as far as the definition of a word. The actual meaning of that word, there was a word he gave in Abari that said, hey, this is what this word, you do not do this. And it just, we've gotten to a point, I think, like I said, we've let our flesh get to a point of, we've become scared of transition, I think. That's me. And that's why I think a lot of stuff we get confessed to, it's got to be because we just don't quite believe. Because once you get to a point of a certain belief, there's just certain things you ain't going to do no more. And that's why I said we were gung-ho for Jesus. We believed it. And that's why I think behaviors were different. Which shows me that belief is not to the same degree in Yahushua than it was in Jesus. And that's why I say it's like we return right back to where we was at in the beginning. And we got something better for us now. I know when I get up, I talk about lineage and race in a sense a lot for a couple reasons. One, because I feel like if you can see a conversion through a lineage, you should be able to see yourself in a Ruach conversion. From being, a sinner to what they call Kadash, separated to something to the Kadash. And another reason I'm just helping you out here when you asked is because preacher is a fisherman, right? Fisherman. Throw bait out, certain bait, if you fish, you're going to draw certain fish. Some baits aren't going to draw certain fish. Some baits going to draw a different fish. Like I heard a man say one time, he was fishing for a hammerhead shark when we went to Florida. They said, you ain't caught nothing. He said, because I got bait for something different. I got bait for a hammerhead. I mean, you can't fight it. But because of our transition, there is a lot of people that it's starting to draw different fish. It's starting to bait in. And it's a different, I don't want to say world, but it's a different, we transition to where it's almost like Yahuwah said, let me get the Christians to convert. The people who are diehard Christians in a sense, to get these people to convert. There's another people out there that haven't been Christian, don't care about Christian, who say, hey, listen, I'm Hebrew Israelite, or it's got to be this color, it's got to be this tribe. But because of the transition, we're starting to draw fish like that, which is needed because I told right before, I feel like, and that's why I say about the debating and all that stuff, there's stuff people can offer each other, but if we're so strung up on who got more knowledge and who is this and that, we just won't be able to benefit each other. But why I say that cares because when I get up, I know that type, I don't want to keep using the word fish, it sounds bad. I don't know, fish a bad word in prison, ain't it? Fish, it's a fish. I don't know, maybe it's in the movies. I don't want to, we got some ex-convicts like, you keep calling me fish. We got, it's people watching, and at the end of the day, if I can try, I would like to be effective if I could, but the first thing people could see is, well, I'm not listening to a person who's white because, one, how the system's been. I can't blame you. Don't try to blame me. Won't even try to fight you. You need to listen. I won't even do it to you. You know what I'm saying? That's even for y'all to hear. I want to hold y'all to that. I tell you, if you can't, I told preacher, I really want all of us to be saved to a point, whether it be him, me, Sheriff Bossler, or Lee, whoever, it's just, whoever hears it, because all of us are going to have an audience that we're going to get. Even within here, some people say, this sheriff give it to me in a way I can hear it better. This sheriff give it to me. So we're on the same team. But Kerry, that's why you asked about debating with Hebrew Israelites. No, I just try to put it where I can at least get to a point where I didn't know he knew that about the law. And he kind of got me to the point, okay, let me hear what he got to say. Now, if I've already hooked you up to the point of where you can say, that is my law, and it does say that, and I didn't know it didn't say that, because some people just know stuff out of ignorance. A lot of them don't know Asu is going to enter in the third congregation, the third Tuledah. It's hard to teach that Esau, what they call Esau, Edomite, is going to be wiped, which he did say he's going to wipe his lineage away. But these people are thinking at a point, if you are born, you're trapped. That's why I showed you with Moab. When you were born in that, you were trapped by the law. You were not supposed to get in, period. It was, and that's a Moabite. I could respect saying that Moabites ain't getting in. And it said Asu was getting the third Tuledah, the third generation. And he can enter the congregation. Here's the catch. Like I told y'all, if he's coming to the congregation, that means he is turned and he's not that person no more, which means I won't count you as an Edomite. And that's why I want us to understand, Kerry. So it's not, I'm always trying to get up and say, defend, man, like white people can do this, that's not, it really isn't about white. Here's the catch. If you think about it, even white people have been tricked into believing America is their native homeland. Go ask, go back to your country. We've all of us, white, black, we came here from a different land. Even when a preacher, he was like, when the correction say, hey, well, Justin, he's fine with English because he's white. And most white Americans will be good with English because guess what white Americans say? That's a white language. But whites came from they didn't come from America. If you go back far enough, whites were European, right? Most white. Guess what? How many different European languages are there? It wouldn't make sense for a white American to say, well, English is my native language. Not really, if you want to go to your nativity. I was, quote unquote, to say German and Polish. I don't know a lick of German language or Polish. I try to take German. I know a couple words. I don't know what I'm saying. But the point is, I don't know really what my native language is, but even white people are duped into thinking, well, this is our land. We were here first. And it don't make sense to call Indians Native Americans. In the very speech, well, yeah, they're Native American. But white America acts like, it's amazing to say they're Native American and get treated as, second-class citizens, like, okay, you got a casino and you ain't paying taxes. And they still pay taxes. People don't know that. There's still taxes they tax them on. People say, no, and Native Americans don't pay taxes. Believe it or not, they actually have taxes they do pay. White America finds a way to do it. But the point I'm trying to get at is that if you want to take each mankind and go right on back, lineage, the lineage, we're all about to go right back to the first man. That's right. You know what I'm saying? But we've been duped and we divide ourselves and we fight each other over information that is just kind of been brainwashed into us from birth. Like I said, a white man, English is my language. Really, if you go back to where you're from Europe. You might have spoke French. That might have been your language. And then what was the people before that was there? See, all these lands are named after the people who conquered that land. But before they conquered it, there was somebody else who had that land. Let's do, I know we've been here a little bit, and I'm going to try to get y'all. Let's think about this standpoint. How can I say this? Allah Ha-Dabarim, chapter, I want to say it's 26. Allah Ha-Dabarim, chapter 26. But Kara, I'm trying to, by the time I have to address some of the issues that were brought up on the phone so y'all can kind of see, I can do a better job of explaining that. Take my time a little bit and explain. So no, I'm not about debates, Kerry. I used to like that all day, but at the point now, if you listen to me, that's on you. Hey, you can kick them a fight, but that's because you're listening to me. I'm not trying to listen to you. I really don't, you know what I'm saying? But my hope is, honestly, as much as people want to fight, I would like you to hear what I'm saying, or not just me, any of these preachers, to a point where you say, you know what, I didn't know that, so it can be a help. But, I tell you all the time, white America has screwed a lot of stuff up, and it's hard. It's a hard fight there, because it's just everything kind of goes back, and they do a great job of keeping us at odds with each other. So anything go, Dexter, I do something to you, it could be just I'm an a-hole. The first thing you think about, which is rightfully so, man, he's racist. If I do something to you do something to me, first thing, man, all blacks are thugs. It's going to be every stereotype come to mind, and just realize, you know what, be honest with you, man, that's just who he is, and that's who I, you know what I'm saying, it's just, and because when you, like I said, you sit back and look at it, we're all stemming back, you know what I'm saying, and there was a lineage Yahuwah did choose. He chose the lineage all day long, you know what I'm saying, but he opened the doors to that lineage, not just for other Goyim, he opened the door for people within that lineage who, at the end of the day, were not, he said, hey, I'm not, like he said, not all Yasharal is Yasharal because of a behavioral aspect. Even think about, I just get it, so we can get out. I know I'm doing a lot of talking. Go, Right, so I don't forget. Give me Allah Hadabarim 26:1. Go ahead, if you read that. I think that's what I want. Bear with me.
Then it shall be when you enter into the Arats, which Yahuwah, your all, gives you as an inheritance. You possess it and Kai in it.
Yep.
That you shall take some of the pari of all the produce of the Adumah, which you bring in from your Arats, that Yahuwah, your all, gives you.
Yep.
And you shall put it in a basket and go to the Malkum, where Yahuwah, your all, chooses to establish his Shem there.
Yep.
You shall go to the Kohan, who is at those Yamim, and say to him, I declare this Yom to Yahuwah, my all, that I have entered into the Arats, which Yahuwah, Shabbat, to our Aboth, to give us. Then the Kohan shall take the basket from your hand and set it down before the altar of Yahuwah, your all. You shall answer and say before Yahuwah, your all, Abi was a wandering Aramean, and he went down to Mizraim and sojourned there, few in number, but there he became a great, mighty, and populous Gui.
We just read in Galatians, the 3rd chapter, it was talking about being the seed of Abraham, right? It's amazing. It says this is what they were going to confess, that he was a wandering what?
Aramean.
Abari?
Aramean.
Yasharal, Yehuda?
Aramean.
He was already in a place and already had a label that was whether it was put on from him or maybe from an outsider possibly. But the point I was trying to get at, if I'm in this land and I identify as something and someone should come and conquer, I'll just say hypothetically, I ain't going to say America, you know what, I'm not going to use that one. I'm not going to do that, it's dangerous. I'm about to use America, like I'm going to use some political stuff. I ain't going that far. Let's just say hypothetically, we're in Georgia, we're known as Georgians, right? Well, if Ohio comes down and says we want this land, and we're taking it, and they take over, now you're going to have, Ohio's going to be called. The people now that dwell in this place are going to be called what? Ohio. Just quick. So that's not even the lineage. That would just be identified with the land you're in. So when you look at a lot of these places, people are being identified because they're in that land. This man they say was a wandering Aramean, and I'm just trying to figure out at the end of the day, how did you change the Yehuda, or how did you change any other race? And the fact that you come before that. And why do we go back to say, are you Abraham's seed, if it's strictly to a physical lineage? And again, one of the reasons I look at this, because I want us to get to a point of Yahuwah can get us in a situation and say, you know what? You were born in Katim, and guess what? In order for me to save you, I have to look past or say, you know what? I'm not going to count this against you. Just like a Moabite was born, couldn't control it, they're not supposed to get in, but I'm willing to say I will look past that, depending on if you are chosen or not. And I will not count you as such. But give me Philippians, the 3rd chapter, and about the 1st verse. It's just a whole lot of crossing in the book that I kind of want people to get and say, like, you know, I don't know. I guess just a point where, you know, we can. It's like I said, it's always been conversion. And it's always been a situation where Yahuwah has been willing to overlook our faults in a lot of end. And people looking in, I would like to see, man, because there's a lot of information that people have that could be beneficial to us in a lot of different ways. And instead we could just fight, and who's right, who's wrong, and it won't get nowhere with that. This is Shaul speaking. Go ahead.
Finally, my Akeem, rejoice in our Adon to Katab like such things to you. To me, indeed, is not troublesome, but for you it is to strengthen. Beware of the dogs, beware of the Rosha workers, beware of the mutilation.
He's talking about, when he said mutilation, he's talking about those of the circumcision. So he went, you know, that's why he was like, you know, beware of the circumcision. Now, he's writing to those in, I don't know what the correct word would be, but I believe it's something close to Philippi. I'm not sure what the actual word would be on that. But, and there's a lot of these letters actually were written to people he was sent to other Goyim. So that's why he was letting them know, when he's talking about the circumcision here, be aware of that. He's letting them know, like, hey, I'm talking about the, you know, Yehudi or, you know, Yasharah, because they were typically be the ones who identified as circumcision. And one of the biggest fights you've always found since he went to other Goyim and since Yahusha got in the scene, one of the fights was Yahusha the Mashiach. That's the first thing. There's already a divide on, do I believe he's the Mashiach, or do I believe he hasn't come yet? Shaul was very crafty, very smart man, obviously. I don't know if y'all remember, but in the book of Acts, when Yehuda or Yahshua, when he spoke, they wanted his life. They were come for blood. And being smart enough to understand that even they were divided in a sense where the Sadducees who didn't believe in a resurrection and the Parashim who did was able to put and say, hey, I'm on the Parashim. And I know you guys believe in the resurrection. Got them to a point where they started to say, they're starting to fight over his body as a point of like, you know what, hey, Sadducees looking, hey, I'll kill him. Parashim like, we need to get him and preserve him. Now, just a second, all of you are on the same page of, man, you're teaching against our customs. But just that quick to get him to say, hey, but I know what you believe. They get him to say, well, he's one of us now. Now I'm one of you guys. You know what I'm saying? Because it works towards against the group we're against. You get what I'm saying? So it's always been a divide off the get-go once Yahushua resurrected of did it happen or did it not happen? Think about this. I was talking about yesterday about actually believing, though one be risen from the dead, how that wasn't going to make you believe. Do you remember that the guards were told to do what the Yahudim went to told when he got put in the grave? Yes, sir. What did he say? They told the guards to keep watch. Why did they want to keep watch? Because he said he was going to get up. They said he'll get up, and they were in fear. They said, we don't want one of his Talmudim to come get his body out. Okay, so they sent guards. Do y'all remember what happened after Yahushua got up? What the guards reported? Go ahead, Ian. If you know this, that's, huh? That is very Christian-like, Ian. But I'm going to spare you. It's true. But that's just till the stone was rolled away. I'm sorry. It was. But think about this. They went back and reported what happened. Do you remember what happened after that? That's goodness, man. That brother's serious over here, man. Tear the sign down and kill him. They told him, they said, they paid him. Say his Talmudim came and got him. They said they paid him. They said, hey, listen, if they asked, his Talmudim came and got him. To know that is not what happened, and you paid me off to tell this lie, and yet I still won't come to grips to believe that he resurrected. It's exactly why he said, though one be risen from the dead. Because you have to come back. That's why I asked y'all, we have to come back to a sincere belief of what's been written. Because that's the only way you're really going to have a true belief that happens. It don't matter that man, Yahushua can walk through that door right now, show you all that, and I can assure you, you're not going to believe like you think you would. We can get all the signs and miracles we want, and I can assure you, we're not going to believe like you think it is. He's pinpointed it to you have to believe what's been written. He has pinpointed it to a point of we are literally at his rakam, where they say mercy. It's nothing we can do, like preacher said. We are at his rakam, which is all the more point of why we need to be thankful and a whole lot more grateful and a whole lot more studious on I am not going back down them same paths. We can't go back there. You got to get a point to where, and I've been down that road before, but I know also because I've been down that road, it's really just excuses. It's all of I just want, okay, I can't be, and I show up to service every day because deep down inside, I still got a belief of maybe it's going to spark me. Maybe today I actually see you should have risen up. And nothing's going to change till you actually can get what you're being taught and say, I believe that's going to happen to me if this change don't happen. Or I should say, I believe I must not be chosen because I'm not walking in this. If you want to know if you're chosen or not, what are your behaviors showing you? That's one of the signs he'll give you. Ruach HaKodesh is a seal. That's right. Abraham already believed or mind on him and basically gave him a seal like, boom, it's a seal for you. That didn't make him Sadiq. I already counted you like that. So you want to know where you're at with stuff, do you have the Ruach? You know, and I'm not saying give up, but I can assure you, if your mind is at the point of giving up, like I told you before, whatever mind we got, whether it was a mind to repent, whether it was a mind to choose this day, I'm serving you, that was a mind that he gave you out of a choice of, I'm looking to save you. And that's why we're not here by accident. All of us, we're not here by accident. A lot of stuff that happened, I told you, and I know a lot of people are concerned about what outsiders think. The whole nine, you're not going to get past it. Yahushua ain't get past it. You're not going to get past it. At the end of the day, we will all be vindicated at the judgment day. When he gives us the mashpat, all of us will be vindicated. You ain't got to worry about, man, they probably think I screwed up again, this and that. What they going to say, I can assure you, like a man said, I'm living right now, whether you believe it or not. I'm sorry if I misquoted you, but I like that verse. But he let him know, well, you ain't got to believe it, but I'm living right. End of the day, you're going to be justified. But, hold to, but what's this? Keep going real quick. So anyways, he was telling them to be aware of the circumcision. Go ahead.
For we are the Beni of the circumcision, who serve the Elohim in the Ruach, and boasting in the Mashiach Yahushua, and we have no confidence in the Basar.
Yep.
Even though I also might have confidence in the Basar, if anyone else says that he could have confidence in the Basar.
And look what Shaul was saying. He let them know if anyone could brag about a lineage, he said, I can do it now. Like I told you before, we've got father, the father of the father, the father of many of them in here. And I told you, but none of us can do that now. And he's letting them know if anyone come with that confidence, he's like, I've got more than them or just as much. Go ahead.
I am on one more and more.
Yep.
That I was circumcised 8 Yamim old.
Yep.
And of the Beni of Yasharal, of the Matah of Benjamin, a Abri of the Abrim, as to the Torah, a Perush.
Go ahead, I'm listening. He's giving all his credentials out.
According to Zeal, a persecutor of the Adah, according to the Sadiq of the Torah, faultless. But what things were gains to me, those things I have considered as loss on account of the Mashiach.
Yep.
And I also consider all things to be lost because of the excellence of Da'at of Yahushua, the Mashiach, my Adon, for which for him I have lost my Nafash from all these things, and consider them to distract me from the gain of the Mashiach and to be found in him.
He considered that stuff a distraction. He wrote this Shaul or Timothy or Barnabas, who they called Timothy. And he wrote to them to actually avoid certain things because they're endless and things like that. And he let them know at that point in time, he said, because those things will be a distraction. And he just came back to say that these things actually he counted a loss. He said those things actually would have been a distraction to me. So the only thing I want to know, did you guys catch anything about his credentials? Anything kind of spark out to make you say, and it's not deep or nothing like that, I'm just curious, was anything you guys caught to say, you know what, based on his credentials, what he's saying, something I want to say don't line up, but it's kind of almost, I don't want to say conflicting, but just interesting, I guess. No, but you're about to make my mind go somewhere real good. But I would like to go somewhere with that, really. But go ahead. That's not it. But you sparked my mind. Go ahead. Anyone else? It ain't nothing deep. Well, just to save time, he mentioned he was from the Matah of who? So how many times we hearing this man saying he's Yehudi? How many times that man come on and say, when they ask, he said, I'm Yehudi, I'm of Tarsa, but he calls himself, I'm Yehudi. So how did you jump from Benjamin to Yehuda? Those are two different Matah. That's two different lineages. If he's going to change the lineage, he can't say, I'm Benjamin, I just sperm over here, I'm Yehuda. It ain't going to happen. So how is it he referred to himself throughout the book of Acts when they asked him, he would say, he said, I'm Yehuda, I'm Yehudi. But here he said his lineage came from Benjamin. He had an understanding of knowing that Yehuda was who was chosen. It said that's who he's going to have his enemies, his enemies are going to be at him, and all the other, his Aki are going to, what? Bow to him. Understanding and being humble to say, you know what? Man, this is my tribe. Man, listen, bump my tribe. I know where the tribe I'm supposed to be in. You know what I'm saying? But it's amazing for people who believe you have to be in a certain lineage, it's going to come down to a physical lineage. I don't see how you can do it unless you just don't believe, quote unquote, what they say New Testament. That's a lot of them, hey, that's why I don't believe Shaul. I don't believe the quote unquote New Testament, all that, because it is Greek, whatever the case may be. Bunch of excuses, either way you look at it. And you know what? I can actually be fine with that. Because you know what? At the end of the day, I understand the distrust for what America's done and why there's a really big distrust for anything you find out white people put their hands to. It makes sense. Won't even fight nobody on that. So if we go to the quote unquote Old Testament, that which was supposed to be Abarim, let's give me Jeremiah, the 13th chapter. I'm about to get y'all out of here in a second. I know, preacher, I appreciate you. I would when you first put us in the ministry, I remember you said you're going to be someone who can compliment or kind of find your own way, like be more of a leader. I always, when you said that, I always was a complimentary type person. Even when I played sports, and I was good with that. I was always fine because I felt like when you know your role and you know, like, I can compliment, like, believe like a Scottie Pippen type, that's really what makes some people stand out because they're good. They know I'm good with this, and they succeed in it, even to the point where some people will assume they're a little bit better than what they were. Like Klay Thompson, Hayward loves him, but he understands that when he does good, he knows, I know I'm not Steph, but I'm great at what I do, and people will start to think, man, he's actually a lot better, but it's because he accepts his role. And I always been at that point where I was like, even in life, I've been a complimentary person. Learned everything I know from you. So even like I told you, my end would never to try to take a lead or try to any of that standpoint. Everything I do, just know I feel like it's complimenting you. And if I don't do a good job of that, that's something I want to do better on. But I want you to know at the end of the day, that's what I feel like my role is to compliment. You know, I'm not trying to jump out ahead. So when you hear me say a lot of times, I want to be good at this and great at this, I really like doing it. And I've come to a point in my life, like I told you before, I want to be great at so much other stuff. And when you got a job, it ain't just about being a preacher, but when you have a purpose now, it's like now I was like, you know what, I feel like I have a purpose and I need to be great at that. And I really pushed to that. And so I was going to make a joke, but it's probably not funny anymore. But I was like, I think it's pretty, if you got to preach 2 times in a row, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel good. But joke's not funny no more. I did too much explaining it. But either way, I don't want you to take that as either that I'm trying to be, hey, you know, man, I want to, you know, bump preacher. I want to, you know, like that's not it. I just get excited about doing it because I failed so much and get an opportunity to make them right. I don't want to screw that up. I mean, you know what? I want them to know, like, man, he took it serious and he made that change, you know, and did it. So that's why it's not all about trying to overtake or try to. Trust me, I love getting excited to do it, and I'll do it every time I get a chance, and I'll go for hours if I can. But at the end of the day, that's why I say it, so you know. But I understand my role, and it really is trying to compliment what he's saying all day, every day. So this is a year, I think it's 13. Scroll down a little bit. Keep going. Go down up. Go down slow. Let me see, because I can't remember the verse. Keep going. I think it's 13. Keep going. Go up. I think I might maybe go up a little more. Go up. Stop right. Let me see. Keep going down. I'm sorry. I can't remember. I know it's in Yahoo 13. At least I believe it. I believe it. That's why I need to get. I need to buy me. Oh, somebody buy your book off you. My memory used to be a lot better. Keep going. 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 It might be around 20, I'm thinking, but go ahead. Keep going down. Maybe it's 23. Go up. Was that what I was thinking? All right, go down. Keep going. Yeah, that's it. It's 23. All right. I should have stuck with my mind, but listen to this. Go ahead. This is interesting. Go ahead.
Can Cushy change his skin or the leopard his spots?
That's a question, because we not everybody is built. We've been duped into everything is about, you know, we give our color more credit to the people we are than the actual people we are. It brings out what we are, if that makes sense to you. But he asked, can a Cush change his skin or the leopard his spots? And he's not talking about the actual leopard. Well, actually, he could be. When I first read this or seen this, I think I was assuming he was talking about an actual leper, like someone who had spots on his skin. Yeah, a leper. Yeah. So the way that's written, he could be talking about the actual leopard with spots. But either way, a leper did have spots, and he asked, you know, but he's asking, can Cush change his skin or a leopard his spots? But go ahead.
Then you also can do, who are accustomed to doing
You going in and out a little bit?
Yeah, my battery might be
Okay,
low.
okay. So go back. Let me see. So he said, then you also can do too who are accustomed to doing evil. So I guess one of two things here. Either a Cush can't change his skin color and a leopard can't change his spots, but that would mean you can't change and do evil if you've been accustomed to it. Or that could mean Cush could change his skin and a leopard could change his spots, because it does say, I'm assuming, let me see at 1 Corinthians 6, is it about verse 9 I want to say? Go to 1 Corinthians 6 and 9. Because one of two things, he put that question together and wants to know, can he do this? He said, because then you could do good. Then you could turn, if you're accustomed to doing evil, then you can turn and do right by Yahuwah. But the thing is, if Cush can't change his skin color, I'm assuming that also would mean, based on how I was reading, you couldn't change and do right then. This is 1 Corinthians 6, go ahead.
Do you not know that the Roshah shall not inherit the Malkuth of the Elohim? Do not be deceived. Do not be deceived, your Nefashim, neither Zanu, nor Shekah of idols, nor the profane ones, nor the Kadash ones, nor the lying Anashim, nor thieves, nor greedy ish of gain, nor drunkards, nor revilers, nor swindlers. All these shall not inherit the Malkuth of the Elohim.
And to say that if it was about more than things like this, if it was about a race, if it was about lineage, I would think he should list this stuff on here. He should be the Moabite, Esau, the Ammonite. There's a lot of nations, Goyim, that he's taken down, and they should be on this that you're not getting in. Go ahead.
Such were some of you in front of you, but you were washed.
Well, I guess that got our answer. Because he says, such were some of you, which means you were accustomed to doing evil. And he said, such were some of you, which means you were able actually to turn and do too. That's right. So I guess, as crazy as it may sound, Cush could change his skin color. Maybe we won't ever see it in that light. Well, then again, Mashai did turn white when he took his hand out. You know, and again, this isn't trying to justify all the Goyim, because it talks about the other Goyim not bragging or boasting against the natural branch. That's not what it is. I want people to that do listen in, Carrie, so you know what? Maybe they could drop that defense, because there's a lot that them people out there can benefit the way of Yah synagogue, other people. Like I said, I would love to fight and show off. You know, trust me, it ain't just about Hebrews, like anybody, Christian. When we were Christians, I would love to fight a baptism message. Man, please. I used to be on the job. I did, man, please. You know, they see me doing something like, he ain't celebrate Valentine's Day. I love it, man. I can't wait to come ask me. Man, especially when preachers put me in the ministry, because at that point it's like, man, listen, whew. They say, what are you? I'm a Christian. Because at the time we were Christian, I'm not saying we should be Christians, but at the time we were, it was the mindset of knowing you're not a real Christian, like to them. So what do you believe? I'm a Christian. Like because I know they're gonna say, well, I'm a Christian. And they say, yeah, that's interesting, because I'm a Christian too. Yeah, not likely. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just because, and knowledge puff it up. But I've also hurt myself in a lot of ways doing that. Because where people in this time could say, man, if you maybe to put that in a different way to me, I could have actually took that a different way. And again, that comes through learning and watching and experiences. But that's why I say I kind of try to, when I get up and preach, I like to kind of break that defense, Carrie. I like to kind of break it, because first, I'm not listening to your white, but maybe because I listen to Ra'ah, I'm going to see, because I've seen messages before, maybe y'all ever haven't. Man, Tony, you got Edomite up there, you know what I'm saying? Like, you laughing too hard, man. It'd be like, man, because, you know what I'm saying? Because the bait he's throwing out is, because the knowledge we're getting is drawing other fish. You know what I'm saying? So now there's fish coming that they don't know. They've been taught the same way, and a lot of it, we had a good talk with Ray. I ain't mad at nobody, especially nobody who feels only black people to be saved. If I was of the color and you tell me that I've been cursed, I'm the reason, I'm the fault, and you come and tell me the whole time that's been a lie, naturally revenge is going to be, now it's your turn, you know what I'm saying, to choose on the other foot. So that's why I don't have a fight, you know what I'm saying, it really ain't. It's more so to drop a guard and say, you know what, if they're going to give me the few minutes, I can really say, hey, let me just show to her, say, man, it is in the Torah, that is the law, to maybe say, I didn't consider that. And then maybe you kind of say, I can hear what he's saying now. So that's, Care, if that helps answer your question, that's kind of why. But I just try to be aware of the fish we are starting to draw and where I can be beneficial. I talk to my wife plenty of times where, because she gets so worried when I get my preach or what I'm going to say sometimes. But I always tell her that my whole end on a lot of stuff is I really want to be successful and help out where I can. And that's really all it is, though. So about the message earlier, for those who did not understand or it came off as I'm saying, man, we're a church, we're let's use hell. No, not with the information we got, it wouldn't make sense. That wasn't it. I just wanted to pin down a way where, like Sheriff Boss was saying, sealing doors. And that's what I was trying to do. I was not a great enough job to do it to where it's a point of saying, Jay, when you said that door is open for me, and I don't know. So I was trying to seal doors. Wasn't the best way of doing it. But that's something definitely can work on. But that's and the point being, all of us have an opportunity to change our spots and change our color, as they say. Not to tell you, I can be black, you can be white. We can do this. All right? And a lot of white people don't want to be black. A lot of white people don't want to be. There's a lot of black people don't want to be white. We can change. But for us here, this is the opportunity for us to make that change. If we got Ukak Shabuah coming up. It's the first fruits. We just learned Yehuda went up first. He was our what? He was our first fruits. He went up to make that offering for us, went up to prepare a place for us. Now, our job is Kohan, because we're going to have to be Kohan. We got to start bringing them Kadash vessels in because he's already prepared that place like we learned. Uyakra, what chapter was that? I already forgot already. No, that's by Marbar, right? Chapter 10, by Marbar to 10 by the Torah. How cool, the Luim were split up. Some will go prepare it, and the other will bring the Kadash vessels to already be up for them. And that's what we got to get our mind set for. Don't mean to hold y'all all night and hold y'all that long. I wanted to clear some stuff up that we talked about and hope that this would actually help for all of us. It ain't about other nations. For all of us, even in here, to say there's an opportunity for change if you're alive. Your mind's already on it. I don't see what you're waiting on. But my goal is I want to see this get to a point where we're not confessing to the same stuff. I've been down that aisle. I really would like to see, because I feel like that's going to be a change. That's going to be, we're really going to get a change and even get the information preachers looking for in a lot of different ends of, like you said, seeing what Yahuwah actually said, what Yahuwah said to, in his purest form. And I believe a lot of stuff Yahuwah will give to us if he looks at, man, you guys are good with what you have, I can give you some more. That's why I stay broke. Real quick, that's why I stay broke. Because I won't be good with money. I just won't. I think he look at, I got to give you a little bit of time because you'll do something dumb. You'll blow the money. You won't, or you'll go all outdoors. You'll grow your, I'm growing my hair back out, but I'll probably go to the middle of my back. But, that's why I said, I'm not telling you I'll be good with being broke or poor. That was not either. I'm just saying, at the end of the day, I understand my place. Sometimes look at, I'm just grateful for what I got, and I keep striving to get more. But when I do, I know I'll be ready for that when it's there. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap y'all up, man. That's my time. I hope this was more beneficial than the other time, for y'all, if it was. Do y'all understand? Did it make sense? All right, all right. Hold up. Y'all ain't got to clap right now. Y'all ain't got to clap. That do not have to clap. I hope you. That's my time. I'm going to count money. No. Appreciate it. Oh, you got another one. Okay, all right.
All right, everybody all right? Give Mr. Yahuwah another hand clap. Appreciate it for the ball. Beautiful message. That was definitely a great lesson. I ain't just saying it. Definitely a great lesson. Appreciate it. Everything said about me, I appreciate it. He didn't have to. And what he said is truth. And Justin he knows I told him over years that he was beneficial. Because there are people in life that won't hear certain people for whatever their reason. Hang-ups are education, color, status, and that's people. So we got all different types that it take in order to get a message across to reach everyone, those individuals. I just want to check y'all on it, something. When he asked y'all about that, when he read 1 Corinthians 6 and 9, it came down, and he read down, he said, and he told you about, and such were some of you. He told them they had did what? Where you gonna tie that to? Hands. We got Boston hand up. And Dwayne. Let's get Dwayne. See him do. Y'all man, I saw both of y'all hands. What you gonna go with, Dwayne? Yeah. Look at Naaman in the 6th chapter of the book of Olive Malachim. He was a leopard, and he was told to go and wash. He didn't want to go and wash. The Nabal told him to go and wash himself in Jordan, and he refused. He wasn't going to do it. He went away. He was going to go with his Abadim, his servant, told him about it. Told him he was looking at all these pools, and he was looking at, and he wanted me to go wash in Jordan, and he looked at Jordan actually, but he let him know, you know, had he told you anything else, you inquired him, you would have done it. Why would you not do it when he told you? And then healing and restoration came in. And it just shows all of us, that's why we take our time. What Justin said was very much needed. Just like he's saying with fighting. That's why I don't waste time. As a critic, y'all know I was ready to debate, fight everybody. I don't waste my time with that stuff. You wind up losing more people in your game because people in the middle that get injured on both ends. If you preaching, if you declaring something, if it's right, anybody gonna be able to sit on it. Nobody can stop it. I ain't got to go debate nobody to get no members. People that do that because they really don't have no time. They really ain't doing that because you all, listen, like he was saying, people saying he had that Edomite preaching. Y'all know I just heard that when y'all heard it. I don't, listen, let me be clear. I don't watch nobody. I don't go through no YouTube looking for no comment. I really could care less. So people waste a lot of time. The only way I know what somebody said, one of you will have to tell me, I don't read it, I don't watch it, I don't look for it, because I really don't care about it. People that's going to listen to me, they want to be saved, who he ordained, who he, Mashiach to me, they going to hear it anyway. Whatever you doing, who he got to hear you, the two people, yourself, and your other two split personality, that's the only people you won't ever draw. Let me tell you something. Go see these people got real congregation. Them people not on the street. Nobody ain't wasting time with that because you got people that listen and following you, growing people. I ain't got time to be running on the street trying to stop everybody running down the street, tell them they going to hell, they don't come to my church. I ain't got time to be running. Listen, you keep going right where you go. You go to the store, you go to the club, and go to the liquor store. Because ain't nothing done. And he told you don't judge nothing until Yahuwah come back. All right, how many of y'all used to go to the club? You still going? So what about the person that told you you're going to go to hell for going to the club? And you repented. So let time prove itself. Same thing with other people. Time going to prove it out. Everything going to prove it out. A lot of times, I've jumped the gun a lot of times. You just start learning over time, you mature. Put your energy where you're most effective. I don't have time. So, hey, man, Daniel's pretty strong. I know he is. Stronger than me. Hey, let's go push Stone Mountain. I'm not going, Daniel. Because we're going to be killing time. That thing ain't moving. We wasting time at the bottom of that thing, struggling, popping, knee cracking, joints hurting. Man, leave that thing alone, go do something effective. A lot of stuff people doing, it's ineffective. Let me tell you what you wouldn't do. I know he ain't sent you. Go save Tony Smith. You're a liar. You're a hypocrite. You're a fornicator and adulterer. I assure you, I perceive he have not sent you. You know what I'm saying? You're struggling with your sexuality. He would never send you to me to save me. He told you go and get saved. He never told you to come save me. You wasting. Why would he send you something? He would have told you go. He won't hear you. Just like he told Pharaoh. You wasting time. Go be where you can be effective. You still fat? You still fat?
Silly.
Whatever. All right. This boy's something else. This is my fat man. But I just tell you about how learn to appreciate the fact he's giving us this and giving us skilled guys. Great message again. And it's just saying, great message. It's just to the point. It's so needed, and it just lets you see. This man had something predestined. He knew we couldn't do it. He knew you couldn't do it. He already knew you couldn't be justified. But I put it here to show you that no man is ever going to be justified with me by this. But if a man's heart change, if a man understand, I'm granting you something you hadn't deserved, that man will be so headstrong on making sure I want to prove to you, you didn't waste time on me. You know what I'm saying? You didn't give me corn in vain. I assure you, he didn't give it to me in vain. I'm growing. daily. I encourage you to grow daily. I encourage you to keep your mindset. Obstacles, things gonna come at you, but just know it don't come to you always to fall. It puts you in a situation where you owe me. It's just like the mob. Them folk come do something fun. Y'all remember The Godfather? How many of y'all watched The Godfather? How many of y'all haven't watched it? Okay, line up. Y'all know what you gotta do. We have to get through. Check on the book. I know I ordered this. It's required watching one time. When that man came, he was talking that girl, and he said, why he didn't come to him? He said, I didn't want to get into trouble. He said, no, he would let him know, you didn't want to be indebted to me. Because he knew once he did a favor for him, you owe me. Y'all, that was the whole thing with the mall. If they do you a favor, you owe them for life. And people look at, I don't want to be indebted to you for life. Hear me, people. I'm indebted to this man for as long as I live. This man did me a favor. And I had to use the rest of my life to repay this man for this favor. So, I mean, I'm appreciative for what he granted me. And my palau is every one of us will. Those that watch us, support us, the same thing with them. This is an opportunity for people of every race and color. You think about it. There are people that obtained it who all were the same color. Who are another people who were the same color that didn't have it. Then there was another people that had none of the color and had none of what he granted to them that didn't have it. And all these people had to watch people that had it. And all they could look at is, I can never get it because I'm not them. Because of something someone else did, because of my birthright, and then he come along and grant us something that you could have never got. If you go to trace back, you see, you could have never gotten this. You're only obtaining it because of favor. Nothing you could have done. Man, I think I was just born in the right family. If people born in the right lineage that hadn't obtained it. This man killed 23,000 people in one day. What was the lineage? Those were not Gentiles. Those weren't Hispanics. Those weren't Chinese. Those weren't Japanese. They weren't Koreans. Those were the same color people that came from the Matar that had who were delivered out of, and yet he killed them all off. Just as sure as he give you favor, he can sure give you his indignation. That's the thing about it. It ain't but one. He ain't got no middle ground. Either you get my favor or you get all my indignation. That's why you appreciate it, because you had nothing to do with the matter. I chose you to this. Everybody. That's why white people had to be grateful. People of color had to be grateful. Because then we learned, how many of us we all heard black people automatically, all black people the people of God. So we just automatically see every black person. But then you go back and read, all of them were black. So where do we come up with every black person? Those Ammonites were not white people. They put in our mind. All these people the same color. The Mizraim, they were black. How would Joseph come in there and they take him for one of their own if they were white and he was black? How would they? So how much difference was between Yasharal and the Mizraim that this man became the second highest ruler? That Pharaoh that they could pass off Musa as his son, his grandson. How close did they look? Favor. I'm so proud of you. My grandson is learning to stand on. You know what you look at? That one of you. You fine. That favor. Because I forgave you. You could have blown Papa's leg off. Yes.
I was,
No. Don't do it no more, though. Papa's leg right here. You could have blown my leg off. I know. I know your mama made you do that. Thank you. But, again, appreciative. Appreciate the Debar. Appreciate all of the ministers. Mashara, appreciate all of y'all, too. Appreciate y'all for pressing. Appreciate our graduates. Appreciate them, in that right? I told Dad about that non-smiling picture. He told me I took 30 of them, though. I said, well, I ain't see 30 smile. And I sent him. I said, you working on your serial killer? No, that's all right. Definitely congratulations to him. Tamia, definitely. Did she graduate and leave? What's that? She in the back. Oh, okay, she's not feeling well or something? Okay. Congratulations, though. We definitely appreciate it. Then we got Naya. Naya graduating to South Carolina. They're going to have theirs December 2024. Isn't that right? They get out of school. Appreciate her, though. But she finished this year. They're trying to get everything ready. So December 24th in South Carolina, they'll be doing it. Because they behind. Don't worry. Listen. Also, I'm going to tell y'all where y'all messed up at. First of all, he said, if Ohio took Georgia, what would they make Georgia? Y'all said, they'll make us players. Ohio players? See? Y'all, knowledge. Boy, you too crazy. Come on. I like you, though. I like that. I like that crazy. All right, we're going to get ready so we can go. Y'all got your money? Take me to the wall.
Tell the world.
Something wrong with you. I like that. Come on, write this up on the board. Y'all take me to the wall. I apologize. We still working with him. All right, we're going to get ready. So y'all give you money? Oh, my goodness. He said people on this side. Don't do it no more. All right. So did we get everybody money? Yes. What about the money going to stage? That tight. Yeah, you're right. I ain't seen nobody go up there. All right, we'll get ready so we can, what do we got to do? All right, come on, man. We got to get ready to clean this up. That's good. Come on, get the eraser and get it. I seen it, yeah. I don't know what it is, but you drew it.
But it's old and the old straw.
And just wipe it out. And the monkey. That's it. Yeah, that's what happened. They going to erase it now. All right, y'all get ready to stand. Give Mr. Go ahead and clap. One for Houston. Ain't it too, y'all? Good to see y'all too. We're gonna enjoy ourselves and eat. Not tonight you ain't eat, cause y'all ain't gonna sit here and like poo. I ain't gonna put my ground. Somebody else pooed it too. All right, let's do this. Tell the truth when make it in. How many of y'all want to be saved? Someone get busted. Who all pooed it tonight? Tonight, I've been sitting here and eat it out, got leg cap. See, that's how you make it. Who else? Who else? That one. Who else? It's a lot of folks there. See, so y'all gonna try to make my grandson feel bad. I know some folks come to do it. You'll just sit, you'll come, you turn to you just look around. So nobody say that, they look, cause somebody said, and these kids, they grab the kid, say, and little kid begin to smell like that, you be like, that's on them. I ain't say the kid did it. That's right. When they start smelling 14 and 15-year-old because you pulled it, you need to repent. Shane, you ain't paying gas today. All day. You might want to get checked. Then you believe he done went all day, he ain't paying gas. No, nobody believe that. Who else in there playing like they ain't paying gas, Uncle Ted? Who? Hey, oh yeah. Hey, you think we believe you been all day and you ain't paying gas? Don't be putting on no Chicago. Prince, don't you be laughing. You know you're a poodle. Don't see a regular poodle. How many of y'all know Prince is a regular poodle? Come on, Princess. Be poo for no reason. See what? That right? Don't just be poo. But y'all human. You know how folks that make stuff, we let people, you human. We human. I mean, don't kill nobody with it, though. And you know you're a killer with it. Just go on out there and kill something. Go put over ant beds or something like that. Let the rest of us live. Also, I want to apologize. Come on, Joseph. I did because I'm apologizing. Come on, apologize. I made a statement a year. Come on, Joseph. I want to apologize. Give Joseph a hand clap. Appreciate Joseph coming. I want to apologize. Earlier you came over to hand me the mic and I made a statement. What was it?
That you were going to fight me.
I told you that?
Yes.
Because I meant it. Now get out of my face. That man don't like him. And also Adam. That joke gonna come to me tomorrow. Mom, can I talk to her? She said, go ahead and talk to her. I said, wait. She said, go ahead and talk to her. I looked at y'all like, what did one time he came out? He said, can we be friends? I said, no, ain't your friend. No, don't like you. I said, no, don't like you. Tell me, let's be, I said, I don't want to be your friend. I don't like you. I want to fight you. I want to bite your nose. I'll leave you booger free. You got me trying, come on, who done taught y'all that? Come try to make friends with it. No. I told me like Tupac, it's on for life. Isn't that right? As you too, Joker. All right, everybody. Anybody got anybody? They got an enemy on for life. Who is it, Jaheed? Me and you. I like that. That's what I'm talking about, boy. Go get all my pistols. I know how to do with this, Joker. Stop. What's wrong with this man? How many of y'all want to make it in? You gotta hate Jaheed. That's all I'm saying. Appreciate it out here. Anytime you want to try, Jaheed, come on. So appreciate everybody. We're going to get ready so we can pull out, get our announcement. Yoshi, did you wear the dress? I just got that all black on tonight. Yoshi got to say something to Steven. Go on, get that little lady. They're like, oh. Look at that go. Deep. Why you looking like that, Smitty?
How you look?
Is she, let me ask something. Is Smitty loyal? Wow, is she loyal?
Not all the time, no,
Not
sir.
all the time. If you had to do a percentage time, is she 50% loyal, 30% loyal, 100% loyal?
I give a 60%.
60% disloyal or loyal?
No, loyal.
So she's 40%. So the 40 don't matter because 60 more than 40.
She's loyal majority of the time when it counts.
When it don't count on her. I mean, isn't that what you said, ain't it? Right?
It kind of depends on the situation.
That's tight. All right. That's pretty political. You running for president?
No, sir.
You should. All right, so go, what's our announcement? Tell Steven hello.
Hey, Steven.
How you did it?
Hey, Steven.
Is that how you do when you call when you leave?
When I leave?
How many of y'all believe that's how she called him? Hey, Steven.
Everybody sitting there hop.
All right, what time?
And today is Sherrock Malcolm's birthday.
Happy birthday! Happy birthday, Malcolm! Yeah, that's something. Can y'all imagine that? When Malcolm was first born, the second day was his birthday. Because he was born on day one. So every day, it's hard to come back and repeat day one. How you come back around to day one? 1, 2, 3. All right, y'all think about it. That's all right. We appreciate Malcolm. I appreciate it. And y'all know Malcolm don't cause no problem. Humble as he can be. When except one time I told a joke, he lost it. Get out of here, Smith! He lost. I said, Malcolm done lost. But everybody got a moment where they lose. It ain't that right. And on that volleyball, he lost it out there. Oh, Malcolm lost. Y'all remember he lost it. We seen the beast come out of there. He lost. I ain't talking no evil, but we seen the beast come out with that volleyball. Like, Malcolm pretty sad about it. He talking about, what, you got here, Boston? I said, Malcolm done lost it back. Ain't that right? Appreciate Billy Girl, too, Cotton Picker. Everybody all right? I mean, we just throw out every can. Appreciate Uncle Ted with the Jed Clampett clothes on. No. Hot mic. No, sir. Are y'all ready? Most High Kudash Shabbat, separated Father, we give all the kabod, kabod, the glory and honor to your Shem, which is your name, for sparing us and granting us this opportunity to be able to be gathered, that we might be able to shama your dabarim, which is to hear with the intent to do. Forgive us for our procrastination and our hesitation. Forgive us for our fault finding, our murmuring and grumbling, for our finding excuses for not coming up and meeting the measure and the mark that you set for every unashamed. I do for even the Torah that you gave us to show us how you yourself conduct yourself, and showing us how, although we are Elohims, we are not the supreme ruler, and that with all we can do, we can never measure up to that of which you are, but we seek to be that which you have set for us, Yahushua HaMashiach, which is the mark for every unashamed, for every nashim, which are the women, as well as the men. We allow that you would look down from Shamaim and allow your pioneer to or upon us, which is your face. That you let it be an encampment and a protection about us. That you would take the dam, which is the blood from the Kaya to life of Yahushua HaMashiach, and that you would cover us, that we might not come up faultful in the Yom Mashpat, which is judgment. Barak us, which bestow a gift or benefit upon us, according to the Berith you Shabbat, which is the covenant you vowed to Abraham, Yasakak, Jacob, the Yahudim, to Yasharal, the Tuladaf, which are their generations, even to us and our Tuladaf, even to their generation, even to those that are far, for whom you will recover and you will establish in your amat, according to your kassid, which is your favor, which is your rekam, your mercies, that which surpasseth all understanding. We allow that you would grant us the knowledge, which is the da'ath, that you would grant us to know you, which is the yada, that we might know how to shakar you, which is to worship you with our inward parts, that we might be an arm, which is a people that you establish that will be kudash, separated, that will be joint heir with the Mashiach, with the anointed one, and that we might be Talmim, which is complete. We allow that you would, in which we ask that you will baraka your shalakim, your sent ones, your ra'ah, your shepherds, and your mal'aki, which are your messengers, that the bar will go forth to prick our laws, which are hearts, and turn to convert us with a Talmim understanding. We allow that you will be a baraka to those we separated from near and far, that you will baraka those we commit to you in Palau, in which we ask, that support your dabarim, which is your word, in every malkum, those in leadership and authority that execute your will, that you will baraka, which will bestow a gift and a benefit upon the married, the single, the separated, the sick, the afflicted, those gone astray and taken from us, our individual mishpachaf, our families, our young people. We ask that you will recover them before it's a long too late, and for the Rosh Yamim come, which are the evil days. Baraka the bereaved. We allow that you will continue to be a strong shelter and a tower for Carrie and Keisha, for Chris, for Uncle Ted, as well as others that are going through, as we consider ourselves, those going through the storms of life and of nature, that you will be a buckler and a shield to them, considering ourselves again. If it's anything that uttered from our lips, which is our paw, we allow that you will not hold it against us. If it's any way that we have halaked, walked, that goes contrary to your will, we allow that you allow to be manifest to our understanding, that we may halak and be yashar, which is upright, that we might be sadiq, which is right, and be sadak, which is just in our dealing, and we might have a hub one for another, that all unashamed might yada, that we are your benin, which is no. We allow that you will baraka Jerusalem, the city foundation, shalom. And if it's see fit, that we don't kum the city yun, which is rise to see the day. We allow that you will let us be fit, that you will inhabit us, that you let us inhabit your Malkut, which is your empire, that we can see your pioneer, your face, and we can tahalim your Shem better, which is praise your name. In the Shem of Yahushua, HaMashiach, we palau. Let us all say, Amen. Come home! Come home! A hub you. Come on, kids. It's who birthday? Malcolm. Oh, it is. Okay. All right, y'all, come on. Hey, sweetie. Good to see you. I just heard about it. And you got to buy me a gift. Okay. Come on up in the front. I know it. Come on to the front. No, we got to get ready to do. Come on, we got to get ready to do this. Y'all ready? Come on up here. Come on up here, you baby kids. Don't pick them up. Let's get ready. Y'all focus. Turn around. Cool? No, not all of y'all. Yeah, then again, y'all baby kids. Yep, come on this way. Y'all ready? Oh, yeah. Come on. Man, you tripping. Y'all ready? Focus. Come on. Focus. Let's go. Y'all ready? Man, you tripping. Oh, we're going to get him next time. Y'all ready? All right, y'all ready? 1, 2, 3, hit it. The little children. Oh, all the children of the congregation. Oh, red and yellow, black and white. They are precious in His sight. The little children of the congregation. Woo! Come home, come home. I'll hug you, hug you. I hate kids. I hate